Chapter 40. There was a huge difference between an individual auction and a direct auction. An individual auction was more similar to a formal auction. There would be an artificial intelligence program on the official website acting as the host, or the seller would act as the host himself. The seller would call out the price and close the deal. To prevent the robot from being too rigid, Lu Chen decided to act as the host himself. It was his first time doing something like this, so he was inevitably nervous. At 9:45 p.m., Lu Chen's individual auction room was officially opened. There were still 15 minutes to the start of the auction, but the number of people in the auction room had already begun to soar. 10 minutes later, the room was filled with 1,300 people. Damn, so many people. Winchim's advertising effect is too good. Lu Chen could not help but exclaim. At 9:59 p.m., the first individual auction in Jiutian officially began. The popularity of the live stream room on the official website immediately shot up to first place. This was even when many live streamers were broadcasting the event. All 1,743 buyers were ready. Currently, only Lu Chen's microphone was turned on. Everyone else was banned from using it. At 10 p.m. sharp, Lu Chen took a deep breath and began to host. Since everyone is here for the item, let's cut the crap and get started. The first auction item is the exquisite spider silk helmet. Let's save some time and sell all three items together. The starting price is 2,000 yuan and the minimum bid is 200 yuan. After Lu Chen finished speaking, he posted the equipment to the public screen. Everyone could click on the equipment to see the equipment's attributes. There was a commotion in the live stream room. Damn, I thought Solipsistic was selling poison fog sets. Another new item. It's a helmet. 11 physical defense, 7 strength, 9 agility, and 10 physique. It's very strong. It's equivalent to 15 physical defense and 200 health points. This item is very helpful in the poison fog forest. Where did it drop from? What the fuck, the mad god is indeed the mad god. 3 items in one go. Lu Chen waited for a moment and said, now that you've seen the equipment, let's start the auction. As soon as Lu Chen finished speaking, a buyer immediately pressed the bid button on his page. Number 455, 2,200. Number 198, 2,400. Number 1134, 3,000. In fact, he could see that Lu Chen was a little flustered. The bidding speed was really too fast, and he was a little unable to keep up with the speed of the information. Number 643, 7,000. It has already reached 7,000. Lu Chen is already satisfied with this price. Those professional players weren't stupid. They naturally knew how important this equipment's bonus stats were to passing through the poison fog forest. The 3 pieces of the poison fog set only added 16 points of physical defense, and it didn't add any HP. With this set, the chances of clearing the poison fog forest would be much higher. Unfortunately, Solipsistic held a monopoly on this equipment. No one else had this equipment except for him. Number 711, wait a moment, let me confirm. Okay, number 711 increased the bid by 2,000, now it's 9,000. The popularity of the live stream soared, and the players were attracted by the fierce competition in the auction house. Fuck, 9,000. Those people didn't even blink. Mad God hasn't been selling anything for the past 2 days. It turns out that he's preparing for a personal auction. Do you think Mad God still has a helmet? I think with his style, he definitely has more. In the end, the 3 exquisite spider silk helmets were sold for 9,800. Everyone was waiting for Lu Chen to take out the next item. Then, Lu Chen calmly took out 3 more helmets. The second batch was sold for 9,400. Then, Lu Chen took out 3 more helmets. This time, the live stream was no longer calm. Fuck, there's more. 9 of them. How many helmets does he have? Where did he get them from? Look at him, he got 30,000. How heart-wrenching. The third batch was sold for 9,800. Even worse, Lu Chen took out the fourth batch. This is the last batch. Those who didn't get it, hurry up. I'll give it to Mad God if I don't. He must have copied and pasted this equipment. He's a professional wholesaler. We're fighting so hard for one piece of equipment, but he's selling them in batches. Who knows who Mad God is? How can he be so strong? All the guilds are fighting for his equipment. Is there such a strong team in the country? He's definitely an employee of Heavenly Guild. The officials have already refuted the rumors. Heavenly Guild employees can play Jiutian, but from the boss to the employees, they'll be treated the same as players. 12 helmets were sold for a total of 39,400. The appetizers are over. Let's move on to the main course. I know everyone is here for the Poison Fog set, so let's start the auction. There's no exquisite equipment here, so let's save time and sell 3 sets at once. Wen Qin was in the middle of the live stream when she was shocked by Lu Chen's words. No way, 3 sets at once again? Wen Qin's eyes widened. How many sets does Mad God have? She was worried that Mad God didn't have many and didn't dare to ask for more. Now, it seemed like her worries were unnecessary. The starting bid is 15,000. The minimum bid is 2,000. The auction starts now. Lu Chen wasn't worried that the starting bid would be too low. With so many people bidding, there was no way anyone would be able to get a bargain. As expected, the moment Lu Chen finished speaking, someone immediately placed a bid. Number 814, 30,000. Number 814 had raised the price of the Poison Fog set to 30,000, causing those who wanted to resell to give up completely. Unfortunately, number 814 still had a lot of competitors. Number 003, 36,000. Wen Qin clenched her fists, looking scared. These people are so fierce. They raised the price to 36,000 in 2 bids. Someone tried to buy my Poison Fog set at 12,000. It seemed like number 003 wasn't the only one who wanted to save time. Very quickly, someone else continued to raise the price. Number 008, 40,000. In Guoguo's live stream, the host Guoguo covered her mouth and widened her eyes. Who's so fierce? 40,000. This is an instant kill. At 40,000 yuan, the various organizations finally stopped bidding. This price was indeed very high. 40,000 going once, 40,000 going twice, number 003, 45,000. As soon as Lu Chen's words came out, the live stream was suddenly filled with exclamations. 40,000 yuan was already higher than the market's expectations. Number 003 actually directly offered a sky-high price of 45,000. Nouveau riche. A real nouveau riche. In the face of such an opponent, others shook their heads and gave up bidding. After all, Mad God should still have the Poison Fog set in his hands. There was no need to fight so fiercely. Lu Chen was really happy in his heart. It seemed that 7,000 yuan to advertise Wen Qin was really not a loss at all. Well, congratulations to number 003. Next is the second batch, still 3 sets of Poison Fog sets, starting at 15,000. As soon as Lu Chen finished speaking, he suddenly found that the backstage had given him the highest bid. Number 003. 45,000. Even Lu Chen was a little stunned. This number 003 was too fierce. Chapter 41. Which rich tycoon is 003? He didn't even bat an eyelid at 40 or 50,000. How many sets is he planning to buy? Will anyone compete with him this time? At TT's headquarters, Xiao Yao, Old Su, and the others were watching the computer screen. This guy is too greedy. Is he going to buy all the Poison Mist sets? Old Su, we have to get the Poison Mist sets. A level 10 main city is a combination of 3 novice villages. When the time comes, we'll have more and more opponents. If we enter the main city late, we'll be under a lot of pressure. I know. Solipsistic sold 3 sets to Wen Qin. He sold another 3 sets before this, so there shouldn't be many left. Old Sue shook his head. But the price is too high. How about this, we'll fight for it within 50,000. Soon, the price had reached 48,000. It seemed that many people had the same thoughts as TT. But someone immediately called out a price. Number 027, 50,000. 50,000 going once, 50,000 going twice, 50,000. Sold. Congratulations to number 027. Lu Chen was secretly happy, but he still tried to control his voice and make it sound as calm as water. Next is the last batch. All 5 sets will be sold together. The starting bid is 25,000. The first increment must be no less than 5,000. In the live broadcast, everyone was stunned. Oh my god, the first increment must be no less than 5,000. 3 sets won't satisfy the demand. The big guilds need at least a dozen sets. Isn't this all Sky's doing? He created a poison mist forest and choked the players to death. This time, Lu Chen had clearly said that this was the last batch. With 5 sets of poison mist sets, the competition for the auction was extremely fierce. Number 003 started with a price of 75,000. The average price was 15,000 per set. After a fierce competition, the 5 sets of poison mist sets were sold for 90,000. Lu Chen looked at his current income. He had sold them for 224,200. Damn, 220,000. That's crazy. The key point was that the main event had yet to begin. Lu Chen's voice sounded again. Today's auction was very successful. Thank you everyone for your support. In return, I'll give everyone a piece of information about the poison mist forest for free. The crowd, who had originally planned to leave, suddenly became nervous after hearing Lu Chen's words. Could it be that I, the unique and righteous, wanted to share the strategy? Lu Chen said faintly, many people think that they can get out of the poison fog forest after passing the snake tide. I'm sorry to tell you that, in fact, the most terrifying part is yet to come. The entire internet was in an uproar. What? There's more behind the snake tide? The most terrifying stage? Even scarier than the spider's lair and the snake tide? Tianqing, come out. What happened to the less than 10%? At least there's still a 1%. Lu Chen continued, however, I happen to have a piece of equipment here that will, to a large extent, determine whether or not you can pass through the poison fog forest. Mad God still has more equipment. It can decide whether we can pass through the poison fog forest or not. Such powerful equipment. What kind of equipment is that? Solipsistic's voice remained steady. Alright, the main course is over. Next is the side dish. The equipment that I'm selling is Ivanhill's protection. Take a look at the attributes yourself. Lu Chen then posted the equipment on the public screen. As soon as the equipment appeared, everyone was shocked before they even opened it to check the attributes. Its color was blue. Oh my god. It's a blue equipment. The first blue equipment in the entire server. My eyes are red. The crowd could not wait to check the equipment out. Ivanhill's protection, high blue, the armor of the master of the poison fog forest, Ivanhill. It possesses extraordinary power. Level 10 physical defense, 21 spiritual power defense, 3 poison resistance, 10 strength plus 19, agility plus 14, physique plus 24. Ivanhill's protection reduces the attacker's movement speed by 10%, attack speed by 10%. Dynasty's crown prince could not help but gasp when he saw the attributes. Fuck. 21 physical defense and 10 poison resistance. Look at the attributes, it's still humane. Calculating the attributes, it's equivalent to 19 attack, 10 defense, 480 health and physique. And this equipment skill reduces movement speed and attack speed. With this equipment, the bamboo python will slow down when it's poisoned. It won't be able to catch up with it. Damn, where did he get this from? Xiao Yao shook his head. Solipsistic has gotten such a powerful equipment. The attributes are insane. Old Su sighed. What a great addition. I'm afraid this is the real deal. This solipsistic, Wen Qin stared at the equipment and gulped. Wow, it's indeed a blue equipment. The attributes are so powerful. It's definitely the best godly equipment. That's strange. I've never seen such equipment in the other servers. Where did Mad God get it? I want it so badly. I wonder how much Mad God will pay for it. At that moment, Solipsistic spoke again. It's getting late. Let's get this over with. 3 pieces in a batch. The starting bid is 15,000 and the minimum bid is 2,000. Let's begin. Lu Chen had already informed them that there would be more challenges after the snake tide. The importance of this equipment was self-evident. Most importantly, the attributes of this equipment were insane. It was not only suitable for passing through the poison fog forest. I estimate this equipment to be around 10,000 to 15,000. I wonder how many pieces Mad God has. With these attributes, the guilds will definitely fight for it. The bidding was extremely intense. After several rounds of bidding, the first batch of Everhill's Guard was sold at a sky-high price of 60,000. One should know that the Poison Fog set consisted of 3 pieces of equipment. With 19 points of poison resistance and the effect of poison duration, it was extremely important in the Poison Fog Forest. However, the price of the Poison Fog set was lower than the price of the Everhill's Guard. After that, Lu Chen brought out the equipment again and again as if he was performing a magic trick. The atmosphere of the entire auction reached its peak after the appearance of this blue equipment. 60,000, 65,000, 63,000. All the guilds were fighting for it. This was the key to their journey to a level 10 main city. 11, 20. After logging off, Lu Chen felt a little tired. The auction took more than an hour. Lu Chen massaged his temples to relax. Fortunately, his efforts paid off. The helmet and poison fog set were sold for a total of 224,200 yuan. 20 Everhill's Guard were sold for a total of 218,000 yuan. In this individual auction, Lu Chen had sold a total of 442,200 yuan. After deducting the 10% auction fee, he had earned 397,980 yuan. Looking at the 450,000 yuan deposit in his bank card, Lu Chen's tiredness suddenly decreased by more than half. After selling so many pieces of equipment, he wondered if anyone would be able to pass through the poison fog forest. But it did not matter. Even if he did not sell these pieces of equipment, they would still be able to get the poison fog set when their levels increased. As for Everhill, they probably would not be able to do it. At this time, Everhill should have already been done. Judging from today's transactions, each attempt was worth tens of thousands. However, Lu Chen was a little lazy to do so. Didn't Tianqing say that level 10 was the real beginning of the game? Equipment will only be more valuable in the future. Lu Chen said with certainty. I'm not going. Rest well. Tomorrow, we'll go see the so-called real Ninefold Skies world. Chapter 42. Mad God's auction had come to an end, but the new equipment that appeared in the auction opened the door to a level 10 main city for the players. Lu Chen slept until dawn, but the big guilds took advantage of his nap to farm zachas, hoping to get more stones for their members. Shoulders. Buyer 003's identity was dug out that night. It was an unknown guild called the Sword and Saber Guild. After obtaining 3 poison mist sets and 2 Avonhill's Guard, their strength increased greatly. Sword and Saber Guild immediately joined forces with YYF, a big guild in Mountain City, to try to break through the poison fog forest. It was worth mentioning that after Fenling's team was equipped with 3 sets of poison mist sets, they became the target of all the big guilds. Fengling chose to join forces with Sword and Saber Guild and YYF to break through the poison fog forest. A team of 2 guilds, a team of the strongest streamer, a total of 9 sets of poison mist sets and 4 Avonhill's guard, broke through the poison fog forest. D***Emenit, the snake tide is too scary, we still can't break through. The team leader said angrily in the command channel. After a short discussion, the 2 big guilds changed their strategy and decided to get a few pieces of poison mist sets first. I know everyone is tired, but please hold on a little longer. D***Emenit, the 5th wave has 2 elite players. YYF and Divine Light will be the main tanks, the rest of you, quickly clear out the small monsters. Without poison resistance, our health is dropping too fast, pay attention to health control, 15 seconds of rest, everyone take potions, don't waste them. D***Emenit, there are so many small monsters in this wave, there are at least 50 of them. And the boss, D***Emenit, I'm dead. Divine Light, hold on. D***Emenit, Divine Light is dead too. Don't be discouraged, this should be the final boss, let's rest and do it again. Don't panic, don't split up in groups, tank, pay attention to your positioning. Phone follow us to kill Alice Anna, quick. At 3 a.m., after a few rounds of being wiped out, with the advantage of numbers and equipment, Sword and Saber Guild finally killed the boss Alice Anna. That's great, it dropped the gauntlets, now we can get another set of poison mist set. Phone shook her head and sighed, we finally made it. The last wave was too scary. So the gauntlets were dropped by this boss. Everyone in the team let out a long sigh of relief. Everyone was immersed in the great joy of the successful exploration. At this moment, YYF's leader, YYF Divine Light, casually said, if Solipsistic can get more than 10 sets of poison mist set, does that mean he cleared the spider lair more than 10 times? When he said this, the channel went silent. There were more than 300,000 people watching Fenglingzi's live broadcast. Sword and Blade's pioneering was of great significance. Many people were staying up late to watch the battle. The vice commander's words made everyone fall into deep thought. There's definitely more than a dozen sets. His team members must have poison mist sets as well. That guy should have no problem clearing this place. That's not right. Only Alice Anna dropped the gauntlets. Swords can pass through the nest with poison mist and guard, but when Solipsistic fights, there is no poison mist and guard. How did he survive? Don't you find it strange? Mad God's team was so strong, but no one had ever seen his team before. It's said that he has tens of thousands of subordinates. It's impossible that no one has seen any of them before. With their first successful experience, Swords and YYF continued to clear the spider lair and collected a few more sets of poison mist sets. It was 4:50 in the morning. Everyone did not relax because of the long battle. Instead, everyone was very nervous. This time, they finally had the confidence to charge through the snake horde. Everyone, pay attention. We can't fight the snake horde, but we can't run around blindly. When we run later, listen to my command and try to protect some of us as we charge out of the snake horde. 80 people. 2 large teams. They were lined up in a row, waiting for the commander's command. 3, 2, 1, charge. The online game instantly turned into a parkour game. Everyone ran with all their might. In the bamboo forest, the green bamboo pythons began to appear in large numbers. Once bitten, especially those who did not have poison mist set, there was only one word for it, death. Team 15, 16, go up. Those who are poisoned, tank the monsters. Everyone else, charge. Team 13, 14, go up. We're close. Team 5, 6, go up. Everyone else, charge. They're almost there. Team 3, 4, go up. No, they're coming again. Hammer, Leopard, Jinbei, you guys go and pull this batch. Blade and Sword's strategy was to sacrifice the majority of the people and protect some of them. 80 people charged forward one after another. Finally, the few people who were equipped with the strongest equipment had an opening. 7 people ran all the way out of the snake horde. We did it. We did it! We're the strongest! In the channel, everyone was cheering excitedly. There are 7 of us charging out. With such luxurious equipment, what are we afraid of? That's right. When Solipsistic charged out, it's impossible for there to be any guards. I don't believe that with our strength, we're weaker than him. Only Winchim had a different opinion. I think we should be more careful. Mad God wouldn't lie to us, right? Winchim, don't be fooled by that guy. What's more terrifying than a snake horde? He's probably lying to us. He's just trying to sell his equipment for a good price. I'd like to see if Solipsistic is lying. What's more terrifying after this? Winchim heard everyone's opinion and did not say anything else. Just as everyone was feeling confident, a huge creature appeared in their line of sight in the distance. The master of Poison Fog Forest, Avanhill. Seeing this name, it was easy to think of the blue equipment. Its name was Avanhill's guard. It was very likely that this guy dropped it. So that's where the guard dropped. If Solipsistic can farm it, so can we. Once we farm it, the others can come over. Yeah, everyone who can come over has equipment. Everyone, prepare yourselves. I'll start the boss. After they were ready, blade and sword rushed forward to start the fight. 5 minutes later, everyone, including Winchim, returned to the beginner's village. Their intestines were green with regret. Fuck, that boss's attacks are still humane. Both its physical and poison attacks are so terrifying. 4,000 health points. It can also net people without limit. Only one person can move at a time. With our current level, this boss isn't something we can defeat. Fuck, how are we going to beat this guy? Winchim shook her head in the livestream. I told them to listen to Mad God, but they didn't believe me. Now, we have to start again after an all-nighter. The next day, Lu Chen slept until 9 a.m. After washing up, he leisurely went out to train his body, had breakfast, and returned home. Lu Chen opened the official website and saw a video of Blade and Sword's all-nighter. You've reached Avanhill. Not bad. He turned off his computer, put on his helmet, and logged into the game. 3 Dumb had trained for an entire night and was now level 10. It seemed that everything was ready. 2, 3, 4, stop farming. Let's go out of the beginner's village. Chapter 43. To get out of the newbie zone, he had to kill Evenhill first. Of course, Lu Chen did not mind killing it one more time. Just as he was about to attack, Lu Chen suddenly remembered something. Evenhill had skills. And he could learn skills. Evenhill's skills did not deal any damage, but they were disgusting. It's always good to have more skills. I can afford 1,000 reputation points now. Lu Chen immediately exchanged 1,000 reputation points and bought the yellow rank technique summary scroll. After this purchase, the price of the yellow rank technique summary scroll in the shop increased to 2,000. Fuck, I knew it. Lu Chen shook his head. Harboring a deep malice towards the reputation store, he used the summary scroll. Unable to use yellow rank technique summary scroll. No summary targets detected. It seemed that he had to wait for Evenhill to use the skill. That was easy. Lu Chen started the fight, and Evenhill cooperated with him to trap 3 idiots. He used the summary scroll again. This time, the scroll entered a countdown. 10 seconds later, a system notification popped up. Summary skill, Entanglement of Spider Silk. With the skill in hand, Lu Chen killed Evenhill and threw the loot onto the trading platform. Check skill. Entanglement of Spider Silk, yellow rank technique. Use spider silk to entangle the target. Consumes 1 spiritual power per second. Can entangle up to 10 targets. Non-spider species will consume an additional portion of tenacious spider silk for each target. Consumes spiritual power and spider silk. Lu Chen did not want to turn into a spider. He quickly checked his backpack. Luckily, he had a few hundred portions of spider silk in his backpack. It would last for a while. My spiritual power is 5. I can only bind it for 5 seconds. I feel like I lost out. Anyway, he had already bought it. There was no way to return it. Walking past Evenhill's corpse, Lu Chen stepped onto a wide stone path. After walking for a short distance, he saw a fork in the road. There was a road sign beside the fork. On the left is the main city of the Celestial Mountain. It should be a level 10 main city. I can't go there. The road on the right leads to the 100 Beast Mountain. It's a level 10 to level 30 area. I should take this road. 3 idiots, let's go to the 100 Beast Mountain. Now that I've reached level 10, I'll need to recruit a few more powerful underlings. Lu Chen walked through the 100 Beast Mountain range, admiring the beautiful scenery around him. This was not the poison fog forest, so the monsters would not attack him. Lu Chen wasn't in a hurry to kill the monsters. He first explored the 100 Beast Mountain range to see if there were any stronger monsters. The 100 Beast Mountain range covered a vast area. If not for the fact that Lu Chen had 8 legs, he would probably be exhausted. There were many wild monsters in the outskirts of the 100 Beast Mountain range. There were wolf monsters, tiger monsters, and bear monsters. At first, they were around level 10, but the deeper they went, the higher their levels became. Lu Chen tried to fight some wild monsters. He felt that the wolf monsters had high agility, the tiger monsters had high attack, and the bear monsters had high health. However, these monsters did not seem to be what Lu Chen wanted. He currently had 3 idiots. Their stats were not bad, and they were relatively average. They could both attack and tank. Moreover, Lu Chen had invested a lot of reputation to open up equipment slots for them. He did not plan to replace them for the time being. The 4 of us are all melee fighters. It would be best if we could find a few ranged underlings, Lu Chen thought. Let's go deeper. Without realizing it, Lu Chen had passed through the forest and arrived at a barren land. The originally gentle breeze in the forest had become somewhat cold here. There were strange sounds in the surroundings, but he could not tell where the sound came from. Damn, don't tell me this place is full of wandering ghosts. Lu Chen couldn't help but shiver. For the first time, he felt that it was not a good thing to make a game so realistic. Damn, it's so eerie. It's scary. Lu Chen pulled himself together and cautiously ventured deeper. After walking for a short while, Lu Chen found a stone tablet erected in front of him. He walked up to it and saw 2 lines of words written on it. My head is separated from my body, and no one cares. My soul returns to a foreign land and cannot sleep. Mass grave, level 20. Your level is level 11. You no longer enjoy the newbie protection. Your level is too low. Please enter with caution. This kind of notification was meaningless to Lu Chen. He still stepped into the mass grave. Just as he stepped in, the ground around him quickly changed. Arg! After a series of bone-chilling screams, the ground around Lu Chen quickly bulged up into mounds of dirt. A few withered rotten arms extended out from the mounds, followed by bodies. Then, 7 to 8 black shadows quickly flew out. Lu Chen took a closer look and could not help but gasp. These guys were all decaying corpses with no heads and tattered clothes. Damn! Level 24 headless flying corpse. They actually took the initiative to attack me. Lu Chen finally understood what a super realistic gaming experience was. Everything was exactly the same as reality. 8 headless flying corpses surrounded Lu Chen and launched a frenzied attack. Their attack style was very unique. 8 heads flew out of nowhere, each with a ferocious face and disheveled hair. They charged at Lu Chen fiercely. After the collision, the heads bounced between Lu Chen and the 3 idiots. After completing a wave of attacks, the heads quickly flew away. This repeated over and over again, the attack interval was extremely short. Normal attacks have a bouncing effect? Lu Chen was a little panicked now. -93, -92. Lu Chen was hit by the 8 headless flying corpses, and his HP was dropping rapidly. The three idiots' situation was even worse. The 8 heads bounced between them, and their HP was dropping rapidly. No, their attacks are too high. I can't block them. Let's retreat first. Lu Chen hurriedly ran away with the 3 idiots. After Lu Chen equipped Evans Hill's protection and fine spiderweb helmet, his physical defense was already 90. However, the headless flying corpses were still able to deal such high damage. It could be seen that their attack was already over 180. After running like crazy, Lu Chen finally brought the 3 idiots out of the stone monument. The flying corpses seemed like they would not leave the mass graves. When they saw Lu Chen come out of the graveyard, they stopped attacking and floated in the air for a moment before quickly burrowing into the ground. Lu Chen hurriedly recovered his HP and took the opportunity to look at the 3 idiots. The headless flying corpses' bouncing attacks had a damage reduction effect. Otherwise, the 3 idiots would definitely not be able to withstand such an attack. After all, the level difference was too big. However, the headless flying corpses' skills are really not bad. Long-range attacks with bouncing attacks and strong AoE abilities. This was exactly what Lu Chen needed. Thinking of this, Lu Chen decided to take another risk. 3 idiots, you guys stay here. I'll go and lure one out. After saying that, Lu Chen entered the mass graves again. After stepping into the mass graves, 8 headless flying corpses burrowed out from the ground. Lu Chen immediately turned around and ran. They won't go beyond the stone monument. Once they reach the stone monument, they will turn back. Lu Chen stared at the stone monument. Just as he escaped from the stone monument, he turned around and extended his wrist towards a headless flying corpse. Spider web entanglement. The spider web did not shoot out from Lu Chen's wrist like Spider-Man's. Instead, it shot out from Lu Chen's lower abdomen. Fuck, so stupid. Lu Chen looked at his extended arm and was speechless. Fortunately, the spider web still trapped the headless flying corpse at the edge of the stone monument. The other headless flying corpses returned to the ground. Lu Chen hurriedly rushed over. It's too dangerous here. I must succeed. Chapter 44. If it was a one-on-one battle, Lu Chen was not afraid of the headless flying corpse. However, there was a certain chance of failure. Lu Chen had failed many times this time. Fuck, I have to capture it again. Lu Chen was frustrated. This fella's level is so much higher than mine. After trying 5 or 6 times, Lu Chen finally subdued the female ghost through force and captured it. Congratulations, the headless flying corpse is willing to accept your recruitment. The headless flying corpse's level has been reduced to 11. Lu Chen quickly checked the status of his new subordinate. Character, Headless Flying Corpse, Quality, Normal, 0/20, 1-star fragment, Level 11, Ceiling, Physical Strength, Strength, 30, Agility, 30, Physique, 24, Spiritual Power, 11, Attack, Physical Attack, 74, Spiritual Attack, 11 Defense, Physical Defense, 15 Health Points, 1080 Talent Undead Bloodline. Stage 2 reduces the physical defense of surrounding enemies by 10%. 0 out of 80, Stage 3 Talent Fragment. The headless flying corpse's level and spiritual power had been sealed. It looked like it could not surpass Lu Chen's. However, the level 11 headless flying corpse's attributes were still strong. Its attack was high, but its health points were slightly lower than 3 idiots. The key was its talent and attack style. Lu Chen was very satisfied. No wonder it hurt so much. It reduced my physical defense by 7 points. The headless flying corpse's talent was actually defense reduction. This way, it would be of great help to Lu Chen's entire team. However, there is a decrease in damage when shooting. If I want to kill a group of them, it's best to recruit another one. This way, killing them will be much faster. Lu Chen gritted his teeth, exchanged 4,000 reputation points, and opened the army recruitment order, 5 mountains. After wasting more than 10 minutes, Lu Chen recruited another headless flying corpse. Fuck, another female ghost. Lu Chen looked at the two headless female corpses in disdain. The two women hugged their own disheveled heads and looked extremely scary. The two of you have really pulled down the average appearance of our army. Sigh, I'm not the only one walking further and further down the path of ugliness. My entire army is incomparably ugly. The three idiots were already the most handsome in the army. While Lu Chen was busy improving the quality of the two female ghosts, a prompt appeared in the system. The sect you established already has 5 members. Furthermore, you have given up on registering your sect in the main city of the Immortal Mountain. Activating the hidden mission, Shelter. Hidden mission. I have a quest too. Lu Chen was stunned for a moment, then hurriedly checked the quest. Mission description: you are a leader with extraordinary courage and insight. In the 9 Heavens domain, where thousands of races are rising, where the strong prey on the weak, you gave up the protection of the Immortal Mountain and chose to establish your own sect. Your courage is admirable. However, the sect you founded is still very weak. If you want to establish a foothold in the 9 Heavens domain, you need to find a suitable place for your sect to reside. Mission requirement: seize your first territory in the 100 Beast Mountain range and establish your own force. Mission reward: obtain the right to use this area and obtain the title, Tiger Courage Dragon Might. Lu Chen frowned as he finished reading the mission. Could it be that the system treats me as a player and my army as a sect established by a player? Lu Chen guessed. Speaking of which, the mission reward is a bit bad. What is this title? Can't it give me some equipment or something? Lu Chen also did not understand. Although he was not satisfied with the mission reward, Lu Chen did not hesitate to accept the mission since it was a rare hidden mission. Choosing a territory in the 100 Beast Mountain range was not difficult. Unless it was a special place, monsters would not attack Lu Chen. It's best to choose a place with a higher level. Players will not come here for a while. Lu Chen tried hard to remember the places he had been. Also, the scenery must be good. And, this is very important. Right, I remember that there is an independent mountain called Crown Cloud Peak. That should be the highest mountain in the 100 Beast Mountain range. Only by standing high could one see further. The scenery there was definitely nothing to complain about. Lu Chen immediately decided to move. The monsters near Crown Cloud Peak were all above level 20, flower demons, tiger monsters, and tree monsters. Previously, Lu Chen was just casually strolling around. This time, he was here to fight for territory. After a closer look, he realized that the highest point of Crown Cloud Peak already had an owner. It was occupied by a level 25 boss. A level 25 Swift Strike White Striped Tiger King. Damn, it must be 3 to 4 meters tall. It looks a bit difficult to deal with. Lu Chen looked around. The monsters were high level, the scenery was pleasant, and the mountains were small. This place is really not bad. Lu Chen looked at the Tiger King in confusion. This is my first territory. Let's give it a try. I probably can't fight it head-on, but I have poison and spider webs. I can try kiting it. Lu Chen arranged for 3 dumb and 2-headed. After getting ready, he rushed over and stabbed with his long leg. -23, -83, poisoned, -83, poisoned. I have 130 to 140 physical attack and only 33 HP. Its physical defense is so high. Luckily, it doesn't have poison resistance. The White-Striped Tiger King's reaction was very fast. After being attacked, it quickly counterattacked with 2 claws. Its attack speed was much faster than Lu Chen's. Lu Chen immediately lost HP-313327. Damn, 2 attacks. This attack and attack speed. I have 90 physical defense and 2900 HP. It won't take more than a few hits. Lu Chen hurriedly retreated to distance himself. Spider Web Entanglement. 2-headed, attack for 5 seconds. Add in spiritual attack. 2-headed's attack included spiritual attack, but it could only deal 30 plus HP to the White-Striped Tiger. It was better than nothing. It looked like he still had to rely on poison. After Lu Chen's HP increased, his poison attack also increased. The two poisons could deal considerable damage. After drinking a bottle of potion, Lu Chen controlled the white-striped tiger for 5 seconds. The white-striped tiger broke free from the spider web. The spider's poison had disappeared, but the 7-step poison and Everhill's protection were still there, 10,800 HP and fast HP regeneration. That's amazing. Lu Chen tried his best to calm down and ran circles with the Tiger King. At the same time, he tried to delay as much time as possible for the healing potion to cool down. After a round, Lu Chen could afford to drink 2 bottles of healing potion. He had lost around 400 HP, while the Tiger King had lost around 1,200 HP by relying on its own regeneration. If this continued, they would not be able to win. Two-headed, you take the hit. Run after 1 hit. Lu Chen had no choice but to let 3 Dumb act as a meat shield for a few times while he attacked. 3 Dumb had no problem withstanding 1 hit. He could quickly pull back the aggro, so it was not a big problem. Lu Chen's advantage was his high damage over time, but his weakness was that it was too slow and very dangerous. The white-striped Tiger King moved very quickly. Even with Everhill's protection, it was only slightly slower than Lu Chen. Lu Chen had to pay attention to his positioning at all times. 3 Dumb and 2-headed each acted as a meat shield and helped Lu Chen take 5 hits. At the same time, he used these 5 opportunities to reduce the Tiger King's HP by 6,000. He could only rely on himself for the rest. Applying poison, cobweb entanglement, recovery, running, Lu Chen didn't dare to be careless in any of the steps. After a full 40 minutes, the ferocious Tiger King's HP was finally depleted by the 7-step poison. 1 more hit and he would be able to complete the kill. At this time, the system suddenly popped up a dialog box. You chose to kill the white-striped Tiger King. After killing it, you will receive the normal kill reward. You chose to banish the white-striped Tiger King. After banishing it, the white-striped Tiger King's respawn location will be reset and will no longer respawn here. Fuck, I fought so hard and I can't even kill it. Lu Chen broke down. How much effort had he expended to defeat this guy? Forget it, I'll kill it later. How am I going to survive if this guy respawns here? Let's finish the quest first. Banish. The white-striped Tiger King escaped with no HP. Congratulations, you have completed the quest, Shelter. You have received the qualification to establish a force in this area. You have received the title, Brave Tiger and Dragon. Above Lu Chen's head, at the top of the long string of prefixes, there were 5 new words. Brave Tiger and Dragon, Elite, Especially Strong, Especially Agile, Especially Muscular, Knoll Commander, Black Bolton, Level 11. Lu Chen almost spat out a mouthful of blood. Chapter 45. Looking at his prefix, Lu Chen felt like he was going to collapse. Damn it, can I not accept this reward? Lu Chen complained. Suddenly, he thought of something. That's not right. Other prefixes add attributes. Tiger Courage, Dragon Might is a quest reward. It should have some effect. Thinking of this, Lu Chen immediately opened his personal panel. His attributes had changed. Under the Quality column, there was a Title. Title, Tiger Courage, Dragon Might, this is a symbol of courage. The person with this prefix will receive a 20% attribute bonus to basic health points. Looking at his own health points, it had increased from 2,910 to 3,310. Damn, it really adds attributes. Lu Chen's eyes widened. It adds a lot. Titles only added basic health points by 20%. It had no effect on the health points added by equipment. Lu Chen's basic physique was 70 points. Together with his level 11 health points of 600 points, he had exactly 2,000 health points. This time, his health points had increased by 400 points. It did not seem like a lot. It was not as much as Evans Hill's Guardian. However, percentage bonuses had strong growth potential. Lu Chen's basic attributes were already high. With the health bonus, the health points added in the future would definitely be much higher than normal equipment. With the increase in health points, Lu Chen's poison attack also received a bonus, increasing from 83 points to 93 points. The Tiger King was not released in vain. Lu Chen said excitedly. Conquering Crown Cloud Peak and obtaining a new title. The reward of this hidden quest exceeded Lu Chen's expectations. When looking at his personal information template, Lu Chen found that there was a new option on his operation page, Force. In the Force section, Lu Chen needed to name his force. The most annoying thing is naming. Lu Chen thought for a long time. My people have monsters, ghosts, and maybe some other miscellaneous things in the future. Let's call them the Army of Benevolence. Normal people would not be able to understand Lu Chen's thoughts. It would be difficult to associate these monsters with benevolence. I can rename Crown Cloud Peak. Interesting. Lu Chen randomly changed the name of the Crown Cloud Peak to Benevolence Peak. Even the mountain in the game had changed its name because of him. Lu Chen was instantly filled with pride. Alright, 3 idiots and 2 heads, this will be our base from now on. Currently, in the faction, there was only a small map of Benevolence Peak. There was nothing in it, and it was unknown if Lu Chen needed to build it himself. However, Lu Chen was not in a hurry to build. Right now, his most important task was to level up. Now that Lu Chen had a clear understanding of the surrounding situation, he could focus on farming and leveling up. 2 heads and 3 fools, go level up. Heir 2, show me what you've got. In the 100 Beast Mountain range, there was a silent moon canyon. The location was relatively hidden, and there were a large number of wild monsters inside. Wolf monsters, jackal monsters, and flower demons were all in groups. Their levels were between level 11 and 15, and they were the most suitable for Lu Chen to farm. Alright, we'll farm here. Heir 2, you two go and pull the monsters. The more the better. In a flash, the 2 female spirits ran to pull the monsters. They had ejection attack, so it was very easy for them to pull the monsters. Not long after, the 2 female spirits returned with 40 to 50 different types of wild monsters. A large wave of wild monsters rushed over. 3 fools helped to pull the aggro, while Lu Chen attacked each wild monster once, maximizing the effects of poison attack to the maximum. Fuck, with 2 poisons, my HP is dropping so fast. Although there were many wild monsters, they were not a threat to Lu Chen. With the double poisons, 2 heads flying skull ejection attack, and 3 fools last hit, the large wave of wild monsters was quickly cleaned up. Lu Chen's system messages quickly flooded the screen. Killed Silvermoon Wolf, level 1. Captured 120 aura of all things. Obtained 1 stage 1 talent fragment. Obtained 1 1-star quality point. Extracted 1 pure aura. Killed steel-backed spiky jackal, level 12. Captured 108 aura of all things. Obtained 1 stage 1 talent fragment. Obtained 1 1-star quality point. Why did a normal monster drop a 1-star material? Lu Chen was a little surprised. However, Lu Chen thought about it and roughly guessed the reason. 2 heads were also normal monsters, but when they were first caught, their talent Undead Bloodline was already stage 2. 2 heads were over level 20, while these jackals and wolves were over level 10. Their talents might be stage 1, and after killing them, they would drop a stage 1 talent fragment. As for quality, jackals, silvermoon wolves, and steel-backed spiky jackals were similar in species, but the silvermoon wolves and steel-backed spiky jackals' quality might be higher than jackals. Hence, even normal silvermoon wolves and steel-backed spiky jackals would drop a 1-star quality point. After careful observation, it was not difficult to discover that although the steel-backed spiky jackals were long-range attackers, and the silvermoon wolves were close combat attackers, their attacks had critical hits, and the probability was indeed higher than normal jackals. So the drop in talent depends on the monster's talent level. Lu Chen understood. Quality is related to the species. Killed 3-petal flower demonis, level 14. Captured 132 life energy. Obtained 1 stage 0 talent fragment. Obtained 1 0 quality point. The Silvermoon wolves had such a characteristic, but the 3-petal flower demonis had become a 0 quality point material. It seems that the 3-petal flower demonis is the lowest level among its species, so the materials it drops are also the worst, Lu Chen guessed. No matter what, it was a pleasant surprise to be able to drop a 1-star material. Lu Chen did not dwell too much on it, and he continued to pull both types of monsters. 2 heads, continue to pull more monsters, pull more. Seeing that the monsters were almost finished, Lu Chen decided to save time. He did not need to run, and only needed to attack. This allowed him to save a lot of stamina, and killing 100 monsters at a time should not be a problem. In the process of killing a large number of monsters, a new piece of equipment finally appeared. Killed strong Silvermoon wolf, level 12. Captured 108 life energy. Obtained 1 stage 2 talent fragment. Obtained 1 2-star quality point. Ding! Obtained item, wolf skin leg guards, white. It dropped equipment. Lu Chen checked the equipment's attributes as he fought monsters. The wolf skin leg guards were level 10 equipment. It added 10 physical defense, 2 magic defense, and 150 HP, not bad, it's better than the spider silk leg guards. There were no monsters with poisonous attacks here, so the wolf skin leg guards attributes were much better than the poisonous mist spider silk leg guards. Lu Chen immediately put it on 2 heads. Ding! Obtained item, spiked mace, white. HM. Weapon. Lu Chen checked the equipment. Spiked mace, the most common mace, nothing special, level 10, physical attack, 8 to 13, 3% chance to deal double damage. Nothing special indeed. Lu Chen laughed. But it's still much better than a level 1 club. Put it on for 2 heads first. The drop rate of normal monsters was still very low, but the drop rate of special monsters was still acceptable. After an hour, Lu Chen had upgraded 7 pieces of equipment for the 3 idiots and 2 heads. After upgrading their equipment, their leveling efficiency had increased again. Everyone, let's work harder. Let's try to upgrade your equipment today. As soon as he finished speaking, a golden light suddenly appeared under Lu Chen's feet. Lu Chen was also stunned for a moment before he reacted. Damn, we leveled up so quickly. Just as Lu Chen leveled up, the 2 female ghosts also emitted a black aura at the same time. 2 heads also leveled up at the same time. Damn, you guys leveled up too? Chapter 46. Their levels were originally sealed and could not surpass Lu Chen. Now that Lu Chen had leveled up, their level 12 seals were also lifted and they instantly leveled up by 12 levels. After thinking it through, Lu Chen temporarily suppressed his excitement and checked his attributes. Character binding, Lu Chen, character, brave, elite, extremely strong, extremely agile, extremely muscular, commander of the Jackalans, Black Bolton, quality, 3-star complete increase in 3 dimensions by 250%, title, brave and fierce, basic health points increased by 20%, level, 12, upgrade progress. 53/250000, physical strength, strength, 109, agility, 108, physique, 117, spiritual power, 7, attack power, physical attack 167 to 177, poison attack, 10, defense power. Physical defense 107, 59 plus 48, health points, 3,488, 2,240 plus 1,248, talent, inferior werewolf bloodline, stage 3 19%, double critical hit. Talent, inferior poisonous spider bloodline, stage 3 inflict, 87 plus 10, poison damage, duration, 5 seconds, increase movement speed by 19%. Talent, inferior snake bloodline, stage 3 inflict, 87 plus 10, poison damage increases by 10% for every step the target takes, duration, 7 steps. Maximum duration, 60 seconds. Army Recruitment Order, 5 Yuan 458/8000, Elixir 7, 24/700, Pure Aura. Before Lu Chen could exclaim about his attributes being increased by a large margin, a cave suddenly appeared right in front of Silent Moon Canyon. This cave suddenly appeared after he leveled up. Lu Chen curiously approached the cave. At the entrance of the cave, there was a cold aura. Dungeon? These two words flashed in Lu Chen's mind. Perhaps it should not be called a dungeon. In other games, dungeons were independent maps provided to designated players. Even if different player teams entered the dungeon with the same name, they could not enter the same map. However, this cave seemed like it could be entered by anyone. Perhaps in Jiutian, there was no concept of traditional dungeons. At least, after playing for so long, Lu Chen had never encountered an independent dungeon. Forget it. Anyway, Tianqing likes to do all these fancy things. The cave was right in front of Lu Chen. Naturally, he would not let it go. The monsters around here are all around level 10, so the dungeon should be of the same level. After Lu Chen finished speaking, he prepared to enter the dungeon with the 3 idiots and 2 heads. Please take note. Are you sure you want to enter the level 12 Hidden Moon Canyon Solo Secret Realm, 1 star? This notification will only appear once. Mystic Realm, a special playstyle of the 9 Heavens domain. It is divided into single-player Mystic Realms and multiplayer Mystic Realms. There is no limit to the number of people who can enter any Mystic Realm during its opening period. The Secret Realm will drop corresponding items according to the player's requirements. You have to pray before entering the Secret Realm. You will receive a special reward for entering the Mystic Realm for the first time. Lu Chen was stunned when he heard that. He did not know what Tianqing was up to this time. However, he heard it very clearly. The first time he entered the Secret Realm, he would receive a special reward. As long as one entered, there would be a reward. And it would be very special. Then, Lu Chen had no choice. Of course, he would choose to enter. 3 idiots and 2 heads, train outside. Don't pull too many monsters. Fight them in groups of 5. Rest when your health points are below 40%. After reminding them, Lu Chen stepped into the Secret Realm. Inside the cave, there was a raised stone platform. The stone platform was hollow. Please pray for the item you wish to obtain in the Secret Realm. The first player to discover the Secret Realm will receive 5 times the reward. Place the similar items in your backpack into the altar. If you wish to obtain equipment, place the equipment. The quality of the equipment produced must not be lower than the item you placed. Place the corresponding equipment, there is a higher chance of the same equipment appearing. You can place 2 items. Lu Chen frowned and followed the system's instructions. What should I place? Lu Chen opened his backpack to check. The new equipment that he had obtained were all given to his 5 subordinates. Unless they took off the equipment they were wearing. Wait a minute, am I stupid? Why would I care about equipment? How many attributes could a piece of equipment add? Of course, it was materials. The grade of the items produced in the Secret Realm was not lower than the grade of the items placed in the altar. Lu Chen did not hesitate to place the 4-star upgrade materials in. 4-star talent fragment and 4-star quality. Just nice 2 items. The altar emitted layers of starlight. Then, the altar fell to the ground and disappeared. Damn, my materials. Aren't you going to return them to me? Lu Chen looked at the altar with heartache. Your prayer has been completed. Please enter the Secret Realm. A chaotic light screen appeared in front of Lu Chen. It looked somewhat illusory. Lu Chen didn't care about his materials anymore, and stepped into the Secret Realm. At the same time, in the 9 Heavens domain server, all online players received 2 notifications. Player, Solipsistic, discovered the level 12 Secret Realm, Hidden Moon Canyon Solo Secret Realm, 1 star. Obtained the title, Hidden Moon Pioneer. Hidden Moon Canyon Solo Secret Realm is officially open. Today's opening time is from 10:45 to 22:45. Players who want to fight for the secret treasure, please hurry to Hidden Moon Canyon. The Sword and Saber Guild had been defeated for an entire night. Now, they were regrouping with YYF and Winchim's team to attack the Poison Fog Forest again. Now was the crucial moment to break through the snake tide. However, the sudden system notification stunned everyone. Ah! Solipsistic. Secret Realm. Level 12 Secret Realm. The officials said that the Secret Realm can only be discovered when the player reaches the corresponding level. Solipsistic is level 12. He actually got a title? I heard that titles are super hard to get and can only be found by chance. Among hundreds of millions of players, having a special color prefix above one's head was a very eye-catching thing. Where is Hidden Moon Canyon? Damn, Solipsistic has really gone to a level 10 main city. Winchim also stared blankly at the system notification. Oh my god, there's a server announcement. Mad God is too strong. I'm so envious. He actually has a title. Is he level 12? I finally know his level. Wow, it must be the highest in the entire server. He killed so many bosses, how did he level up so quickly? Obviously, killing bosses was not as fast as farming in the wild. However, not only did he sell his equipment, his level was also way ahead. The official website was even more chaotic. He's out of the secret realm. No way. I haven't even left the novice village and he's already in the secret realm. This system notification is purposely made to piss people off. He even went there in time. Now that everyone is trapped in the Poison Fog Forest, what's the point of going there? I'm going crazy with jealousy. Damn, the entire server is watching him clear the secret realm alone. I suddenly don't want to play anymore. Lu Chen stood in the secret realm with a look of despair. So, this was the special reward? Not only was there a server announcement, but he had also grown longer. Chapter 47. Silent Moon Vanguard, Tiger Brave, Elite, Extremely Strong, Extremely Agile, Extremely Strong, Commander of the Knolls, Black Bolton. The title, Dark Moon Vanguard, provided a 10% increase in strength, but compared to that, Lu Chen was still very depressed. More than 3 meters. Fuck, in the future, before I even reach them, they'll have already discovered me. Lu Chen rolled his eyes and looked at the green words above his head. He wanted to cry but no tears came out. Forget it, since the prefix was added, and as a wild monster, he could not hide his ID, so he could only stay in the grassland. Luckily, the system only said solipsistic and did not announce his real identity. Most likely, the system had only managed to track down the ID Lone Tyrant after making a comparison. Get materials, get materials. Lu Chen shook his head and walked deeper into the secret territory. Not far ahead, there were 4 to 5 Dark Moon Silver Wolves. They were only level 12, but they were all 3-star special monsters. Dark Moon Silver Wolves were 3-star special monsters, and they dropped 4-star materials. My prayers were answered. Lu Chen immediately went into frenzied killing mode, using all 8 legs to run towards the wolf pack. Killed a specially agile Dark Moon Silver Wolf level 12. Captured 540 spiritual energy points. Obtained 5 stage 4 talent fragments. Obtained 5 4-star quality points. Extracted 5 pure spiritual energy. Fuck, 5 times the drop. Lu Chen exclaimed in disbelief. He hurriedly verified the information word by word. It was indeed 5 times the drop. Experience, materials, and even pure spiritual energy were 5 times the drop. This is the first time I found the reward of 5 times the drop. That's awesome. If an average player were to face 5 3-star special monsters alone, they would definitely die. But Lu Chen's attributes and talents were extremely abnormal. As long as he poisoned them, these Dark Moon Silver Wolves would run to their deaths. There was no pressure at all. 5 Dark Moon Silver Wolves dropped 25 sets of materials. Even the experience gained was more than 10,000. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Are there any more? Lu Chen's adrenaline surged as he frantically searched for monsters in the secret territory. Luckily, he had 8 legs, so he ran very fast. There's a wave here. Killed an extremely agile Dark Moon Silver Wolf level 12. Obtained 540 Heaven and Earth Spiritual Energy. Obtained 5 rank 4 talent fragments. Obtained 5 4-star grade. Extracted 5 pure spiritual energy. Killed an extremely agile Dark Moon Silver Wolf level 12. Obtained 540 Heaven and Earth Spiritual Energy. Obtained 5 rank 4 talent fragments. Obtained 5 4-star grade. Extracted 5 pure spiritual energy. Killed an extremely agile Dark Moon Silver Wolf level 12. Obtained 540 Heaven and Earth Spiritual Energy. Obtained 5 rank 4 talent fragments. Obtained 5 4-star grade. Extracted 5 pure spiritual energy. Lu Chen's 4-star materials increased rapidly. He had already killed 50 monsters in 2 waves. Damn, it's so much faster than farming Ivanhill. There were many packs of wolves in the mystic realm. Every time Lu Chen saw a pack of wolves, it was as if he had won the lottery. He dove right in. Although the secret realm was for a single person, there was no limit to the number of people who could enter the secret realm. Therefore, there were still a lot of wolves. 40 waves of monsters. Although the secret dungeon did not drop any other equipment, but 1,000 sets of materials. 250,000 experience points. Lu Chen did not even have time to evolve. He was afraid that he would miss out on one wave. In the end, Lu Chen leveled up. Motherfucker, this feels too good. I leveled up in an hour. Lu Chen could not believe it himself. Is this mystic realm giving out special benefits? No, normal players can't beat it. Whatever, it's very good. While leveling up, Lu Chen upgraded his grade and talents at the same time. There were 3 talents. They were all rank 4. There were 4 grades in grade. They were all at the top. Character binding, Lu Chen, character, Dark Moon Vanguard, Tiger Courage, Dragon Might, Elite, Extremely Strong, Extremely Agile, Extremely Muscular, Jack Allenby Commander, King, Black Bolton. After upgrading his grade, Lu Chen had an additional King in front of his name. This really made Lu Chen depressed. The color changed. My avatar changed too. It's the same as Ivy Hill. Golden avatar and purple name. Finally, he did not have to carry a large grassland. Even if the prefix was a little longer, it was not a big problem. And the golden avatar meant that Lu Chen had really become a boss. Grade, 4-star complete 3D increase 450%, 0/320, 5-star grade, 0 to 1, Ancient Heart, Title 1, Tiger Courage, Dragon Might, basic health points increased by 20%. Title 2, Dark Moon Vanguard, basic strength increased by 10%. Level 1, upgrade progress, 224/300000, physical strength, 177, 132 plus 45, agility, 163, 132 plus 31, physique, 172, 132 plus 40, spiritual power, 7, attack, physical attack, 223 to 233 poison attack, 10, defense, physical defense, 142, 61 plus 71, health points, 4,928, 3,440 plus 1488, talent, inferior werewolf bloodline, rank 4 23% double critical hit. 0 for 320, rank 5 talent fragment, 0 to 1, ancient fragment, talent, inferior venomous spider bloodline, rank 4 inflicts 3%, 150 plus 10, poison damage, duration, 5 seconds, increases movement speed by 20%. 0 of 320, rank 5 talent fragment, 0 to 1, ancient fragment, talent, inferior snake bloodline, rank 4 inflicts 3%, 150 plus 10, poison damage increases by 10% for every step the target takes, duration, 7 steps. Maximum duration, 60 seconds. 0 of 320, rank 5 talent fragment, 0 of 1, ancient fragment, army recruitment order, 5 mountain dollars 458/8000, elixir 7, 364 for 700, pure aura. Fuck, this daddy's attributes. Lu Chen panted heavily, his eyes shining. He did not want to think about the newly appeared ancient heart or ancient fragment. Now, he only wanted to be intoxicated by his insane attributes. Attack above 200. Defense 140. HP close to 5000. Close to a quarter of the critical hit rate, and the initial poison damage increased to 160. He did a rough calculation. Even if physical attacks were not included, if the opponent did not have poison resistance, just the poison alone could deal 2500 damage. So terrifying. Recalling the time when he was still a weak gnoll, his pitiful attributes, and now his boss-level attributes, Lu Chen couldn't believe it. Who would dare to believe that these are one attributes? Lu Chen said excitedly. These attributes are definitely worthy of being called a boss. This unknown dungeon is so awesome, directly upgraded to a full 4-star. This is a qualitative change, a real qualitative change. He had only left Ivanhill for a few hours. If he went back to Ivanhill now, it would be like playing a game. He would be poisoned to death with 2 poisons. Taking a deep breath, Lu Chen felt that his body seemed to have become 1 size bigger. A boss has to be big and tall. Lu Chen narrowed his eyes and said proudly. They had not reached the end of the unknown dungeon. It seemed that there was still a gloomy cave ahead. He did not know if there was a boss living in there. But at this moment, Lu Chen was not afraid at all. You are a boss, I am a boss too, why should I be afraid of you? Let's go. Lu Chen climbed up quickly with his 8 legs. Chapter 48. In the deepest part of the hidden dungeon lived the Silvermoon Wolf King, level 15. Lu Chen stood in front of the Silvermoon Wolf King. His size was comparable to the Wolf King's. The Wolf King stared at Lu Chen, confused about the situation. Lu Chen grinned. Sorry, I'm a boss too. Let's see who's the bully. Lu Chen rushed over and slashed with his claws. Minus 244, critical hit, minus 160, poisoned, minus 160, poisoned, the Wolf King lost a chunk of its health. Only 6,000 health? Without poison resistance, you can only block 3 waves of my attacks. The Wolf King also dealt a critical hit. Minus 177. Your attack is not bad. Too bad you won't have a chance. Not long after, the Wolf King died under the 7-step poison, while Lu Chen only lost a few hundred health points. Killed Silvermoon Wolf King, level 15. Captured 4,000 spiritual energy. Obtained 15 stage 5 talent fragments. Obtained 15 5-star quality points. The Wolf King did not drop any equipment, but the materials it dropped shocked Lu Chen. Fuck, 4,000 experience points. 15 sets of materials. It was normal if he thought about it. Not counting the 5 times drop rate, it only dropped 3 5-star materials, the same as Avanhill. However, these 15 sets of materials meant a lot to Lu Chen. 300,000 reputation points. After Lu Chen converted the materials to reputation points, he was shocked. Fuck, this is great. Are there any more bosses? Give me a few more. At this moment, the system pushed a system announcement in red. Silvermoon Hidden Dungeon has been cleared. The hidden dungeon will close in 5 minutes. The players in the server were in an indescribable mood. Solipsistic cleared the hidden dungeon. So fast. I wonder what good equipment he got. The next time the hidden dungeon opens we'll have to wait for someone to find it. Sigh, who knows how long we'll have to wait. This damn poison fog forest. Doesn't he stream? If he does, there won't be any other streamers. Sigh, this system announcement is so annoying. It has nothing to do with us anyway. It just keeps on broadcasting. Blocked. Lu Chen also saw the announcement. It seemed that the dungeon had been cleared. Sigh, it's over. It would be great if there were a few more bosses. After all, if he were to discover the Serene Moon's secret realm in the future, he would not be able to enjoy the benefits of a 5 times drop. It was inevitable that Lu Chen would feel that it was not enough. Forget it. I've leveled up and evolved all my talents and qualities. I've already gained enough. I shouldn't be too greedy. Lu Chen consoled himself as he walked out of the cave. 3 idiots and 2 head were farming outside. 2 head had also leveled up. His current level was the same as Lu Chen's, 1 star. The heads of the 2 female ghosts bounced happily between the monsters, and their speed of clearing the monsters was very impressive. Killed Silver Moon Wolf, 1. Captured 120 points of aura of all things. Obtained 1 rank 1 talent fragment. Obtained 1 1-star quality point. Extracted 1 pure aura. Killed Steel-backed Spiky Jackal, level 12. Captured 108 points of aura of all things. Obtained 1 rank 1 talent fragment. Obtained 1 1-star quality point. Killed 3-petal flower demon, level 14. Captured 132 points of aura of all things. Obtained 1 rank 0 talent fragment. Obtained 1 0-point quality point. As Lu Chen left the dungeon, the experience gained from his subordinates killing wild monsters was added to Lu Chen's account. His system notification was quickly refreshed with experience and information. Lu Chen had been farming for a long time. Seeing that his 5 subordinates were already doing a good job, he found an empty space to rest. I need ancient materials for both a rank 5 talent and a 5-star quality point. I don't know where I can get them. Lu Chen thought. It seemed that he would have to postpone the evolution for a while. Why don't I exchange the 5-star materials for reputation and develop my army? This way, leveling up will be much faster. Thinking of this, Lu Chen began to exchange the materials. He only kept 3 rank 5 talent fragments and 3 5-star quality points. The remaining 12 were all exchanged for reputation. The reason why he kept 3 sets of 5-star materials was that Lu Chen thought that he might encounter a dungeon in the future. When he prayed in the dungeon, he might need 5-star materials. 240,000 reputation points. Upgrade the army recruitment order. After spending 8,000 reputation points, the army recruitment order 5 peaks was upgraded to 6 glows. 16,000 reputation points, 6 glows, was upgraded to 7 stars. 32,000 reputation points, 7 stars, was upgraded to 8 trigrams. 64,000 reputation points, 8 trigrams, was upgraded to 9 levels. He had spent a total of 120,000 reputation points. Army Recruitment Order, 9 levels 140438/128000, I can still upgrade it, but it's too expensive. Lu Chen had another thought. Would there be a qualitative change after reaching level 10? When he had 5 subordinates, he had activated the hidden mission, Shelter. If he had 10 subordinates, would there be a new mission? With Lu Chen's obsessive-compulsive disorder, he felt uncomfortable looking at the level 9 army order. I don't care. Anyway, I still have a lot of 4-star materials. It's enough to buy cultivation techniques and equipment slots. If I really want to use them, I'll just fight a few more bosses. Reputation points that came for free were indeed spent without knowing how to count them. Lu Chen gritted his teeth and upgraded the army order again. Army Recruitment Order, 10 Directions 12438/200,000. Lu Chen glanced at the information of the army order. The reputation points required after 10 directions did not double. This was considered good news. If it continued to double, it would be a bottomless pit. Following which, Lu Chen looked at the information of the army. In the army, a new position had appeared. The position was Squad Leader. Position, Squad Leader, able to lead a squad of 5 units. Is this useful? Lu Chen did not think that this new content would be of any help to him. Following which, Lu Chen looked at the faction. In the faction section, a mission had appeared. Faction mission, setting up camp, mission description, you have continued to recruit followers in your home. You now have 10 followers. Next, you need to build a home for them. Mission details, cut down 500 trees, collect 500 units of stones, and build your own camp in your territory. Mission reward, Stage 3 large defense formation, square black armor defense formation. Fuck, it's actually a city building mission. Lu Chen felt that he had suffered a huge loss. Speaking of which, the mission reward was a Stage 3 formation. It seemed to be used to protect the camp. Currently, there were no formations in the game. Of course, as players entered level 10 main cities and some chose to become talisman formation masters, formations would definitely appear. However, the mission reward was a Stage 3 large defense formation. Just from the name, this formation would not be easy to break. In Jiutian, players would establish their own factions in the future. In order to prevent their sects and mountains from being easily broken through, after establishing their faction, the system would definitely provide a certain amount of support. It was very likely to be a mountain protection formation. Since I have my own faction, I definitely have to make a mountain protection formation. Lu Chen thought about it and decided to accept this mission. However, before this, Lu Chen still had something to do. 3 idiots, 2 heads, stop farming. Follow me to the mass graves first. Our team is going to become even stronger. Chapter 49. The headless flying corpses had decent stats, and their farming speed was fast. Most importantly, they didn't need to level up. 7 headless flying corpses farming monsters at an extraordinary speed. As for the meat shield, he could temporarily let 3 dumb act as it. During crucial moments, Lu Chen himself would be the biggest meat shield. What he needed was a group attack. This time, Lu Chen didn't need to be as careful as last time. Although the success rate was low, it was just a waste of time for the current Lu Chen. Half an hour later, Lu Chen's team had 5 new headless flying corpses. 2 turned into 7. Next, he used the materials on hand to level up the talents and grades of these guys to 2-star. There was a shortage of 3-star materials, but Lu Chen wasn't in a hurry. He could wait until he got more materials to level them up. In addition, Lu Chen gave each of them an equipment slot. They were equipped with wolf skin shoulder pads and spiked maces to increase their attack, defense, and health. It took more than 40 minutes for all the miscellaneous matters to be settled. Okay, finally done. Let's go chop down trees and move rocks. He brought the 10 men to the vicinity of Ren Ai Peak. The monsters around here were of higher levels, and it was located deep in the 100 Beast Mountain range. No players would come over for a while. 500 pieces of wood and 500 pieces of stone. Collect them and place them near the camp. I'll leave this job to the 10 of you. I have something to do, so I'll go offline first. Oh, right. If you guys complete the task early, 7 heads will bring 3 dumb to level up. After handing over the work, Lu Chen exited the game. While eating instant noodles, Lu Chen turned on his computer and entered Jiang City's website. Splendid Jiang City. Unknowingly, half of the boards on Jiang City's website had been occupied by 9 Heavens domain. The popularity of the Jiutian forum was high, and there were many news articles about Jiutian. Jiutian studios, gaming guilds, player organizations, and so on. It was quite rich. Jiutian's influence was still permeating the entire society at an extremely fast speed. Lu Chen shook his head and clicked on the Rivertown Real Estate section. Premium small apartment building, Huanshan First Class, is officially open for business. The location of the residential area is blessed by the heavens, and the transportation is convenient. The basic facilities are complete, and all the apartments are fully furnished. You can move in with your bag. The minimum is 400,000 yuan. 10,000 yuan in advance, 20,000 yuan for the purchase of a house. If you don't buy the house, you can get a full refund. Remaining time, 11 hours and 15 minutes. This kind of marketing could no longer deceive people. Starting from 400,000, it meant that most of them were worth more than 400,000. However, the prepayment of 10,000 to 20,000 was not bad. If it's a small apartment, the price shouldn't be too different. Lu Chen opened the Yellow Mountain first pin column page. As expected, the 400,000 yuan ones were gone. Most of them were 450,000 to 650,000 yuan, with an area of 60 to 80 square meters. In a small place like Jiang City, this price was considered average. Lu Chen looked at his bank card. He had earned 400,000 renminbi from the last auction. Including the income from other equipment, he had a total of 520,000 renminbi in savings. He could buy a smaller one with full payment. I earned 500,000 renminbi in less than a week. Lu Chen felt like he was dreaming. 70 square meters is enough for Lu Yi and me. Most importantly, this will be our own house. No matter how small the house was, as long as his sister was there, it would be a home. There was still half a month before the rental renewal. Once the rent was paid, it would be a quarter. If he could buy a new house and move in, he could save a quarter of the rental fees. That silly girl had stayed in the Soaring Dragon Club's dormitory for a few days. Last night, she called to say that she would be home tomorrow and asked him to make some delicious food. Lu Chen gritted his teeth, clicked on prepayment, and paid 10,000 yuan. There might not be any delicious food, but there is a house. Lu Chen smiled and shook his head. At the headquarters of the Northern Military Region, Li Muhua was reporting to the chief. Chief, everyone is still stuck in the poison fog forest. We lack poison resistance equipment. Although the old chief was old, he seemed to have done his homework. He understood the terms poison fog forest and poison resistance immediately. The poison fog forest is indeed difficult. I've seen many guild live streams. The chief sipped his tea leisurely. Then, he changed the topic. Oh right, solipsistic, have you found anything? Reporting, Chief. We haven't found anything. Tianqing's defense system is far beyond our intelligence team's level. We can't find his IP. The old chief didn't seem surprised. He said calmly, that's true. To be able to develop such a game, Tianqing's technology is beyond this era. Then, have you contacted Solipsistic? No, we've sent him many emails, but he hasn't replied. Oh, at most, he sent a group email to tell us that he's auctioning something. The chief nodded and smiled. Who is this guy? To be able to leave all the players in the dust. We have to think of a way to contact him. It's best if we can make friends with him. Li Muhua was confused. Chief, isn't he just a gaming expert? Is there a need for the military to work with him? The chief looked at Li Muhua meaningfully. It seemed that this kid still didn't understand the mission clearly. Little Li, you have to remember that Jiutian game isn't as simple as it looks on the surface. The entire world's government and military are paying close attention to it. It might change the future of mankind. I'm guessing that when the second heaven comes online, we'll be able to see some clues. Li Muhua frowned. His face showed the determination of a soldier in the face of chaos. He seemed a little stubborn. Chief, I know your worries. I don't doubt your judgment. What I mean is that we're just late to the game. Give us a little more time, and our soldiers will definitely conquer the poison fog forest. The chief smiled and patted Li Muhua's shoulder. Of course, I believe you. What I mean is that we can lag behind others in terms of game progress, but our control of information must be ahead of everyone else. After the Yue Mystery Realm appeared, the system released a system announcement. This announcement also allowed people to know some information about Solipsistic. I believe that many people will be more interested in him. If you don't hold on to this kind of person, and he becomes an opponent in the end, it'll be a loss for us. Do you understand? Li Muhua didn't expect the chief to know about the system announcement. Now that he thought about it, he seemed to understand. The military had a more important mission. Although they kept a low profile in the game, it definitely didn't mean that they were here for leisure. The chief had already started to plan. I understand, Chief. I'll immediately think of a way to contact Solipsistic. Go ahead. The old man nodded happily. Seeing Li Muhua turn around, he suddenly called out to him. Oh, right, little Li, Chief, is there anything else? After we pass the poison fog forest, you can watch more videos of the Monolith Guild. Their method is feasible. They've already passed the poison fog forest. Li Muhua was stunned. The chief actually knew about the Monolith Guild. Yes, Chief. Chapter 50. Louis didn't have a day off until tomorrow. Lu Chen paid the deposit, went out for a meal, and worked out his body. Speaking of which, it was strange. Logically speaking, after playing games for so long and sitting on the bed for half a day, his body should be a little weak. But when Lu Chen did pull-ups, he found that it was much easier to do pull-ups than before. Is it because I'm preparing to buy a house? Lu Chen thought it was possible. For the brother and sister, buying a house was very important. If it wasn't for Jiutian, it might have taken 10 or 20 years before they dared to think about it. In the fitness area, the old people were also talking about their experience in Jiutian games. A few of their friends who usually played cards together were also teammates in the game. They planned to form a team. In the small store opposite the fitness area, the owner's wife was busy working alone. The owner was wearing a quantum helmet and was still working. A few middle school students who came out at night for some fresh air were talking about how it felt to fight monsters. I also got a club. Now I have no problem fighting a level 5 gnoll alone. That's nothing. Lu Yuan from class 11 is already level 8. Which professional guild does his brother belong to? If they pulled him in, he'll level up quickly. Damn, that works too. Level 8. Right, do you guys know about the Yue Mystery Realm? Of course I do. Solipsistic is already level 12. He cleared the Yue Mystery Realm alone. Fuck, I'm so jealous. I wonder if he dropped any godly equipment. But the strange thing is, did you guys notice that among the officially announced sects on the Immortal Mountain, there isn't a single sect? Yeah, I went to take a look too. Solipsistic passed the poison fog forest long ago. Why hasn't he established a sect? Do you guys think we can join his sect? Lu Chen, who was doing pull-ups, shook his head. Sorry, you guys might not be able to join. My army isn't normal. Just as Lu Chen was about to do another pull-up, someone called from behind. Brother Chen. The person who came was one of Lu Chen's few good friends. Because of his dark skin, Lu Chen liked to call him Little Black. The two of them had known each other since they were young. After that, Lu Chen's family went through a huge change. Many of his friends had lost contact with him, and some had stopped contacting him. Only this guy had kept in touch with Lu Chen. This guy's family background was average, but during Lu Chen's most difficult times, Luoyu, who was only a few years old, would bring some food from home from time to time, and even give some money to Lu Chen. Lu Chen suspected that he had stolen the money from his family and refused to accept it. However, Luoyu said that it was his own private stash and stuffed the money into Lu Chen's hands before running away. In the blink of an eye, more than 10 years had passed. The house that Lu Chen and his sister lived in was found by Luoyu. Although they lived in the same neighborhood, it was rare to see Luoyu. Now that Luoyu had joined an internet company, he was as busy as a dog every day. She could only see him occasionally on weekends. He was also the only one who would call him Chingu when they met. You're not working overtime today. Lu Chen got off the horizontal bar and the two of them found a place to sit down. Nope. Our company is now focused on the Jiutian business, and all of us are playing games. Ha! Your company isn't making money? Lu Chen asked in surprise. How could it not make money? We're planning on starting a live broadcast in the future to promote Jiutian strategies, databases, game assistant apps, and so on. Anyway, it's all in the preparation stage. Luo Yu handed a cigarette to Lu Chen. Our boss thinks that there's a huge business opportunity in Jiutian, but in order to do this, our employees need to be familiar with the game. Our boss even found a professional gaming studio to lead a team and certified a guild on the official website. After reaching level 10, a guild will be established. Right now, whoever's at a higher level and has access to more game content will have more opportunities in the future. Lu Chen nodded as if he understood. Then what level are you now? At the mention of the game, Luo Yu's eyes lit up. He said mysteriously, level 9. With gravel and leather shoulder pads. Awesome, right? Fuck me. Lu Chen's eyes widened. His level was definitely high, and with the 2 pieces of equipment dropped by Zachas, he didn't expect Luo Yu to be so strong. Oh right, didn't you buy a helmet too? Yeah, I bought a second-hand one. The previous tycoon bought a gaming cabin, so I didn't want the helmet. Why don't you join our guild? Lu Yi and the others are strict, but I'm not so strict. I can pull friends into the guild. With us 2 brothers working together, we'll definitely look down on everyone. Lu Chen smiled and shook his head. Forget it, I'm just playing for fun. I'll get some equipment and earn some money. Seeing that Lu Chen didn't agree, Luo Yu felt a little regretful. However, on second thought, he knew Lu Chen's family situation the best. If Lu Chen were to play games, the only reason would be to earn some extra money. Alright then. Oh right, we've done some statistics. The drop rate of special monsters is much higher than normal monsters. About 30 of them will drop a weapon. Now, a wooden club can be sold for around 100 on the market. If you get 2 or 3 of them a day, the income will be pretty good. Lu Chen frowned. The price of a wooden club had dropped to around 100. He didn't seem to pay much attention to the trading posts these 2 days. Perhaps this was the normal price of a level 1 equipment. Oh right, let's add each other as friends in the game later. If I have time, I'll bring you to level up. When your level is higher, you'll be able to get more equipment. Lu Chen's mind raced. Ahem, that. I'm not in Rivertown's novice village. Ah. Oh, that's right. There are too many people in Rivertown's novice village. Where are you? I can go find you. Just as Lu Chen didn't know how to explain, a call from Luo Yu's colleague interrupted their conversation. Luo Yu hung up the phone and said apologetically, Brother Chen, my colleague is urging me to go online. The boss wants to rush into the poison fog forest. He wants us to level up quickly. Lu Chen felt as if he had been pardoned, but his face was full of regret. Then you should hurry back. Seeing Luo Yu run home in a panic, it seemed that he was under a lot of pressure. In order to get the boss's appreciation, he was really working hard. Even so, he was still thinking about him. Luo Yu never doubted him. Lu Chen felt a little guilty for not telling the truth. However, Luo Yu was right. When they reached a level 10 main city, they would eventually meet. Luo Yu, level up well. I'll give you 10 times what you gave us in the past. On the train from Black River to Rivertown, 4 young men sat in the last row of the first-class cabin. The 4 of them were dressed in plain clothes. Their bodies were well-proportioned, and their eyes shone brightly. He looked like a soldier. There weren't many people in the first-class cabin, but there were still a few people wearing quantum helmets. With one look, it was obvious that they were playing Jiutian. Among the 4, a handsome short-haired guy looked at the passengers entering the game. His gaze gradually became a little absent-minded. After leaving the army, he deeply felt that Jiutian's influence was still growing. Boss, we'll be able to meet that person in 40 minutes. The crew-cut guy beside him whispered, his eyes filled with excitement. Yeah, I'm really curious about who he is. The short-haired guy said faintly. Don't be like groupies. Remember, we're going there to make friends. Don't ask what you shouldn't ask, don't mention what you shouldn't mention, and don't force what you can't force. Yes, battalion. Yes, boss. Chapter 51. Lu Yi only reached home at 9 p.m. When she saw Lu Chen, she almost pushed Lu Chen to the ground. Brother. I missed you so much. Lu Chen was both angry and amused. However, although Lu Yi was back, she had to go online before the guild could organize a raid on the poison fog forest in the evening. After all, Lu Yi was a member of the gaming club. Lu Chen was used to this. After reminding Lu Yi to go out the next day, Lu Chen could only go back to his room and log into the game. After more than 2 hours, there was a large amount of wood and stone piled up on Ren Ai Peak. The materials were ready. Now, it was time to build the base camp. After the materials were ready, Lu Chen did not need to build the base camp himself. He chose a blueprint and the system automatically pieced the materials together. Soon, a stone wall was built around Lu Chen and surrounded the entire Ren Ai Peak. Then, a 3-story building was built in the center. There was a stone pillar in each of the 4 directions of Ren Ai Peak. There was a flame burning on each of the stone pillars. Army Hall. Damn, it's really like this. The flames on the 4 pillars are the energy source for the operation of the formation. Lu Chen was curious. The mission, setting up the camp, has been completed. The 4 corners black armor defense formation has been set up for your camp. You can check the operation of the formation on the hall page. Lu Chen immediately opened the Forces option, and there were a few more information items inside. At the same time, it could also display a 3D thumbnail image of the entire Ren Ai Peak. At this time, the exterior of Benevolence Peak was already covered by a transparent barrier. For Corners Black Armor Mountain Protection Formation, 200000/200000, Spiritual Damage, this is the status of the formation. That means it can withstand 200,000 spiritual damage. A Tier 3 formation is already so powerful. Lu Chen only had 7 spiritual damage. If he wanted to break the mountain protection formation, he would have to fight until the end of time. It seemed that his peak was safe for the time being. In addition, the Army Hall had a few other functions. Army Warehouse could store 100 items. Army Teleportation, clicking on the teleportation stone would allow one to teleport directly back to the Army's main camp. Army War could be used to declare war on other forces. Of course, only Lu Chen could operate it. Army Spiritual Energy Concentration currently showed 1. 2. Cultivating spiritual energy in the army would be 1.2 times faster than cultivating outside. Currently, the Benevolence Army had just been established, so they only opened these functions. In the future, I can quickly return to the city. When I'm cultivating my spiritual power, I can do it in the sect. I can get my subordinates to help me level up. After settling the matters of the army, Lu Chen asked 7 heads to bring the 3 idiots to Silent Moon Canyon to level up while he went offline to rest. The next morning, Lu Chen woke up Lu Yi, who was in a daze. Brother, let me sleep for a while more. We stayed until 4:30 yesterday. Lu Yi could not even open her eyes. Look at you guys. Why do you have to stay up all night? Isn't it the same if you do it during the day? Why do you have to tire yourselves out? Lu Chen did not care. He tugged at Lu Yi and said, don't sleep anymore. Sleep when we get back. We have something important to do today. In front of the Yellow Mountain First Rank Sales Office, Lu Yi frowned and looked at her brother blankly. Brother, what are we doing here? Lu Chen smiled, let's go in and take a look. Lu Chen and Lu Yi did not realize that there were 4 people following them along the way. Boss, he's that person. He doesn't look like it. Yeah, didn't the internet say that there are tens of thousands of people working for him? He looks like an ordinary person. Li Muhua rolled his eyes at his two comrades. Can you believe the things on the internet? Why don't you think about it? The more ordinary he is, what does that prove? What does that prove? Stupid. It proves that he's more powerful. Li Muhua shook his head helplessly. The three young men pondered. Yeah, tens of thousands of people working for him. He was already the most powerful person. Compared to a person who relied on his own strength to become the most powerful person on the internet, which one is more powerful? Of course, it's the latter. Now that you mention it, it's really like that. How did this guy do it? Don't ask what you shouldn't ask. Li Muhua said, remember, we're here to make friends. Let's go in first. There were quite a lot of people who came to look at the building today. As a small and well-renovated Huangshan first class, the location was good and the price was not too expensive. Since the opening, the sales had been very good. Now, there were not many houses left. A few sales ladies were busy attending to the customers. These people might have the intention to make a deal, so they did not dare to neglect them. Brother, this house is so beautiful. Louis looked at the model left and right. Even if she could not afford it, she should at least look at it. As for Louis, she had always wanted to have her own house. Lu Chen was also looking at the different house models carefully. Louis, which one do you think is better? The 70 square meter one is very good. It has 2 rooms, a living room, and a bathroom. It's okay if it's smaller. It's just right for the two of us. The most important thing is that the balcony is big. We can grow flowers and dry clothes. After dinner, we can go out and enjoy the cool air and the scenery. Lu Chen also liked the 72 square meter one. The house design was very scientific. There was no waste of space, the balcony was big and the lighting was good. He glanced at the price. It was 537,000 yuan. If he counted the previous 10,000 yuan to 20,000 yuan, Lu Chen had just enough money to buy it. Brother, we've made it look like it's real. Even if we like it, we can't afford it. Let's go. Louis shook her head and was about to leave with Lu Chen. Lu Chen suddenly said, let's buy this one. Louis looked at Lu Chen in shock. Huh? Brother, am I not awake or is your sister awake? We can't afford it even if we take a mortgage. The down payment is more than 100,000 yuan. Even if we borrow money to buy it, we won't be able to repay the loan in the future. Lu Chen smiled mysteriously at Louis. He deliberately kept her in suspense and pulled her to the sales lady. The sales lady was also dumbfounded. A customer actually came to her directly to buy a house. It was like a pie falling from the sky. She quickly went to get the contract. Sitting in the contract area, Lu Chen showed the receipt of the advance payment on his phone. The sales lady went to check the information again. Brother, when did you pay the advance payment? Are we really going to buy a house? Louis quickly asked softly while the sales lady was not around. We're about to sign the contract. Are you serious? Where did you get the money? I earned it. Don't worry, your brother didn't rob a bank. It's clean money. Louis was so shocked that she could not speak. After the sales lady returned, she had already confirmed Lu Chen's advance payment information and started to sign the contract. Sir, you came at the right time. This 72 square meter small apartment is the last one. This is on the 8th floor and the location is very good. That's why the price is slightly higher. That's why it's been kept until now. The sales lady said enthusiastically, may I ask what kind of payment method you'd like to choose? Commercial loan or provident fund loan? Full payment, Lu Chen said. Louis opened her mouth and looked at Lu Chen in disbelief. Buying a house was one thing, but it was a full payment. Her mind was filled with huge question marks. Even the sales lady was stunned. There were many young people who came to buy houses, but they were usually accompanied by their elders. However, these two were not only here on their own, but they did not even have their parents' page in their household register. these two young people should be orphans. They were so young, but they were able to buy a house in full. This was very rare. Well, Mr. Liu, if it's a full payment, you'll have to pay the full amount after signing the contract. I know. I brought the card. Lu Chen had done a lot of work before. Since the customer had no problems, the sales lady naturally had no problems either. She quickly signed the contract. Mr. Liu, please follow me. I'll bring you to swipe the card. At this moment, a middle-aged man in a suit walked over quickly and asked eagerly, Xiao Min, has the contract been signed? The sales lady looked confused. Manager Huang, it's already signed. Is there a problem? Then, has the money been paid? I'm about to bring the customer to swipe the card. Then there's no need to swipe the card. This house is not for sale. Ha! Lu Chen looked at Manager Huang strangely. Why aren't you selling it? Manager Huang sized up Lu Chen and his sister. One look at their clothes and he knew that they were not rich kids. He snorted. Because someone bought this house. Chapter 52. Lu Chen was a little angry this time. How can you be so dishonest when doing business? We signed the contract first. How can you sell the house to others? Manager Huang did not look apologetic at all. Instead, he said arrogantly, the contract hasn't been stamped yet, so it's normal for it to be invalid. Anyway, the place where the contract was signed was a separate room. He was not afraid that someone would take a video and watch the show. Louis saw that her brother was angry and did not care about the doubts in her heart. She said angrily, since you put the house up for sale, everyone should buy it in order. Manager Huang looked at the siblings impatiently and snorted, I don't need to explain to you. Now, please return the contract to us. This Manager Huang obviously had some scruples when he asked for the contract. Based on this, it was very likely that when he said that the house had been sold, he was lying. He was afraid that Lu Chen and his sister would use this contract to make an issue out of it. After finding Manager Huang's weakness, Lu Chen took the contract in his hand. You're bullying your customers, aren't you? Sure, I'll call the People's Livelihood channel right now and expose untrustworthy businessmen like you. Louis, make the call. Just as Louis picked up her phone, Manager Huang slapped it away. The phone fell to the ground and smashed into pieces. What are you doing? Lu Chen was really angry this time. He wanted to rush over and beat this guy up. Louis was his reverse scale. How could Lu Chen not be angry if he dared to touch Louis? Brother. Louis grabbed Lu Chen. After all, this was their territory. There were more than 10 security guards around. If they fought here, it would only be her brother who would be at a disadvantage. Manager Huang's face darkened. Kid, what is your status? You better consider it carefully. I'm not afraid to tell you the truth. This house has not been sold yet, but someone has taken a fancy to it. As for what you said about first come, first served, I'm sorry. This rule is only for ordinary citizens like you to follow. People with status have always been able to take whatever they want. Do you understand? You! Lu Chen was furious. This was too much of a bully. Manager Huang picked up Lu Chen's household register on the table. What are you doing? Put it down. Under the protection of 4 security guards, Manager Huang turned a deaf ear to Lu Chen's warning and casually flipped through the household register. There were only him and Louis in the household register. Humph, you don't even have parents? No wonder you don't know how to behave. Manager Huang casually threw the household register on the table. You can earn 500,000 yuan. TSK, tisk. Manager Huang looked at Louis. It seems that you mainly rely on your sister to earn the money. She's so young. How many customers has she received? Since you don't have parents to teach you, I'll help your old man teach you. Dregs of society like you won't be able to cause any trouble. You can call the police or find the media. Do you believe me? Before I change my mind, take your sister and scram. With a loud bang, Lu Chen's fist answered Manager Huang's question. Brother! Lu Yi cried out. Lu Chen's punch was powerful enough to send Manager Huang flying and crashing into the wall of the signing room. When Manager Huang came back to his senses, half of his face was swollen and his mouth was full of blood. Lu Chen did not expect his punch to be so powerful. You fucking refused a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit. What are you waiting for? Beat them up. Beat them both to death. Use your batons. Manager Huang shouted angrily. More than 10 security guards took out their batons and approached Lu Chen. Lu Chen wanted to rush over and beat up this rude Manager Huang, but he saw Lu Yi behind him. There were more than 10 tall security guards with batons in their hands. How could Lu Yi take a beating? In the end, Lu Chen gave up on chasing Manager Huang. He turned around and hugged Lu Yi tightly, using his body to protect his sister. Bang, bang, bang. There was a series of bangs. The batons that he expected to rain down on him did not fall. Lu Chen turned around in surprise and saw 4 people standing in front of him and his sister. The 4 of them were well-proportioned, tall and straight, and all of them had short hair. In front of them, more than 10 security guards were lying on the ground, groaning in pain. You? Who are you? Manager Huang shrank into a corner and looked at the 4 of them in horror. You don't need to know who we are. We heard what you said just now, the leader said loudly. They have signed the contract. Do you think you can stop selling just because you don't want to? Manager Huang's eyes darted around. He could not figure out who these 4 people were. You. Mind your own business. Do you know which developer we are? How dare you mess with Zhongqing Real Estate? I think you're tired of living. If you know what's good for you, get lost. Zhongqing Real Estate's Jiangqing branch. The man's back was facing Lu Chen, so he could not see his expression. He took out his phone and dialed a number. Boss, we have a problem here. When that person bought a house at Zhongqing Real Estate's Jiangqing branch. After explaining the situation, he hung up the phone. Looking for someone? Ha ha ha. Now you know how to look for someone. Manager Huang suddenly laughed arrogantly. Let me tell you, in Jiangqing, no one dares to mess with Zhongqing. Oh, is that so? Then we'll wait and see. After saying that, the man smiled and turned to Lu Chen and his sister. Are you okay? Lu Chen was puzzled. Who were these 4 people? Someone might come here later. You should go back first. I'll give you a satisfactory answer about the house. Li Muhua inadvertently saw the phone on the floor and added, oh right, there's your sister's phone too. Lu Chen could not figure out what was going on. Are you sure there's no problem? What he said just now sounded like they're not simple. Don't worry. They're not simple, but... Li Muhua smiled. We're not simple either. Since they said so, Lu Chen did not say anything else. Lu Yi was still here. He would leave first. After tidying up the materials on the table, Lu Chen left the signing room with Lu Yi. After Lu Chen left, Li Muhua looked at his companions and raised his eyebrows at them. The 4 of them immediately understood and high-fived in celebration. Oh yeah, I didn't expect to encounter such a thing. That's great. Ha ha ha, we're friends now. Oh, Manager Huang, thank you so much. Otherwise, I wouldn't know what to do. Manager Huang was dumbfounded. What was going on? Jiangshi City Municipal Building. In the office on the top floor, an old man with white hair was working. The phone on the table suddenly rang. This call was a direct call. Not just anyone could make it. The old man picked up the phone. Xiao Lin, are you busy? With Lin Xueshan's current status, the number of people who could call him Xiao Lin could be counted on one hand. When he heard the familiar voice, Lin Xueshan stood up immediately. Yes, It's the old squad leader. Of course, the old squad leader was definitely not just squad leader now. Lin Xueshan could not help but blurt it out because of their friendship back then. Ha ha ha, Secretary Lin, I didn't expect you to recognize my voice after so long. Ha ha ha, Commander Su, I can't recognize other people's voices, but how can I not recognize your voice? Let me tell you, I can still dream of your voice calling for us to gather in the middle of the night. They were old comrades. Although one was in the military and the other was in politics, they still had endless topics to talk about when they talked about the past. Old Su, why did you think of calling me? Me? I'm here to complain to you, the parent official. You have Zhongqing real estate on your side. They're very arrogant and despotic. Oh? There's such a thing. Tell me slowly. I'd like to see what right he has to be arrogant. Chapter 53. Lu Chen and Louis quickly left the sales center. Brother, who are they? I don't know them either. Then, will they be fine? That manager Huang seems to have a backer. Lu Chen was also worried. Stay here and don't run around. I'll go back and take a look. Brother, it's okay. I won't be rash. Be good. After Lu Chen finished speaking, he was about to return to the sales center when he saw a fleet of black commercial vehicles parked in front of the sales center. This license plate. Is it a government car? Lu Chen was a little puzzled, but he still sneaked into the sales center. At this time, the customers in the lobby were temporarily invited to the resting area. A group of people hurried in from the door. Seeing these people, Lu Chen felt that they looked familiar. He seemed to have seen them on TV before. City leaders. Manager Huang hurriedly rushed out of the signing room. When he saw this group of people, his face turned pale. In front of Lin Xueshan, Manager Huang was like a different person. He nodded and bowed. He did not have the arrogant look from before. Director. Director Jiang, why are you here? Why didn't you inform us in advance that you are coming? We could have received you. Manager Huang could only get in touch with Director Jiang from the Municipal Bureau of Supervision. Director Jiang looked at the few people behind him nervously. One of them nodded at him slightly, indicating for him to do his work as usual. Director Jiang took a deep breath. In front of so many leaders behind him, the pressure was not ordinary. Especially this incident had alarmed that person, the leader signaled, and Director Jiang calmed down. He purposely looked around. Manager Huang, the sales of Yellow Mountain First Pin are very good. Manager Huang rolled his eyes. He did not know why Director Jiang suddenly said this. It's all thanks to the city's economic development. Our current leadership has done a lot for the people. Developing the economy, setting up economic development zones, building. Director Jiang did not wait for Manager Huang to finish and suddenly changed the topic. In my opinion, we have not done well enough. At least, the public security is not good enough. If not, why would Manager Huang be beaten up like this? Manager Huang was not stupid. Director Jiang's words sounded like he was concerned about him. But why would the leader come down personally for such a small matter? The leader definitely did not come down because of his injuries. The leader was throwing a brick to attract more attention. Well, Director Jiang, it was an accident. I'm sorry for making a fool of myself. Chief Jiang shook his head. What kind of accident could be so serious? Manager Huang, since we have time, tell us what happened. Does the leader have time? Obviously, that was impossible. The leaders were holding them accountable. At this moment, a Mercedes-Benz stopped outside the door in a hurry, and a group of people got out of the car. The person who came was the leader of Zhongqing Real Estate's Jiangqing branch, Regional Manager Zhang Weigua. Director Jiang, Director Wang, Director Peng, and Secretary Lin. Zhang Weigua's experience was naturally not something that Manager Huang could compare to. However, when he saw all these leaders, his lips trembled. With so many leaders here, something big must have happened. Looking at Huang Xia's swollen face, he thought about what Huang Xia had told him. It was most likely related to that incident. Director Zhang, you're here too. I'm really sorry. We didn't receive any notice before. When the leaders came, we weren't prepared at all. Zhang Weigua hurriedly said. What do you need to prepare? A loud voice came from the signing room. Then, 4 young people walked out. Manager Huang, didn't you say that no one in Jiangqing would dare to touch you? You didn't take the leaders seriously just now. Li Muhua led the team out and walked to Lin Xueshan. Just as he was about to salute, Lin Xueshan held Li Muhua's hand in time and smiled at him. Li Muhua understood that the old chief should have taken care of him. He tried his best not to expose his identity outside. Oh? Huang Xia, how do you usually talk to others? Director Jiang looked at Huang Xia playfully. Huang Xia was so scared that his face turned completely white. He looked at Zhang Weigua and the latter's eyes were burning with anger. Ha, friend, are you kidding? How can I say such things? Li Muhua didn't waste any time and immediately turned on the recording. Manager Huang's tone in the recording was completely different from what he was saying now. Scum of society like you can't do anything. You can call the police or find the media. Do you believe me? Don't be a busybody. Do you know which developer we are? You dare to mess with Zhongqing real estate? I think you're tired of living. If you know what's good for you, get lost. Find someone. Ha ha ha. Now you know how to find someone. Let me tell you, in Jiangqing, no one dares to mess with Zhongqing. Caught red-handed, Manager Huang's legs turned to jelly and he knelt on the ground. I was talking nonsense. My brain is damaged. Huang Xia could not think of any way to salvage the situation. He slapped himself in the face. He slapped himself left and right. Pa. Enough. Lin Xueshan suddenly said impatiently. If you have self-awareness, reflect on yourself. Don't play to the gallery here. Huang Xia slapped himself and was scolded by others. Was he being too noisy? Huang Xia froze and didn't know what to do. What I want to ask now is whether the renovation materials of Huangshan first grade are shoddy and cheap materials that contain a lot of harmful substances to the human body. This concerns the livelihood of the people. We have to investigate it thoroughly. Director Jiang immediately became serious. Secretary Lin, the inspection department is checking. There will be news soon. Zhang Weigua's legs went soft or he was tired of standing. He actually sat down on the chair when all the leaders were standing. Not long after, the report came. Holding the inspection report, Secretary Lin's face was a little ugly. He immediately said sternly, which department was in charge of the previous inspection? Which person was in charge? I'll give you 1 day. No matter who is involved, you must submit it to my desk. Director Jiang also panicked and hurriedly replied, Yes, Secretary Lin. Tell Lu Ming of Zhongqing to come to me. Lu Ming was the general manager of Zhongqing's Huadong district. The person in charge of the commerce department said shakily, Yes, Secretary Lin. Lin Xueshan suppressed his anger. Only when he saw Li Muhua and the others did his mood improve slightly. Young man, you did well. The 4 of you follow me to the car. I want to know more about the situation. Lu Chen hid in the corner and watched with a dumbfounded expression. Those 4 people were too ruthless. They directly wiped out Zhongqing. Manager Huang knelt on the ground. The general manager of Zhongqing, Zhang Weigua, was paralyzed with fear. Soon, the 2 of them were taken away by the economic investigation team. The entire Huangshan first grade was really going to be ruined. Speaking of which, how could the leaders in the city find out about Huangshan first grade's problem at this juncture? It was obviously not possible. Moreover, judging from Secretary Lin's attitude towards those 4 people, It was obviously different. This matter was definitely related to those 4 people. Although he didn't understand the relationship between them, at least he could be sure that nothing would happen to the 4 of them. Fuck, luckily I didn't buy it. Otherwise, I would have been poisoned by formaldehyde. Lu Chen sneaked out of the sales office. Chapter 54. That afternoon, Lu Chen took his sister to a buffet to calm her nerves. When they got home, Louis looked absent-minded. She looked at her brother worriedly. "Brother, we won't be implicated in this, right?" Lu Chen frowned. "Those 4 people are not ordinary people. I can't believe they managed to hire someone from the city. But they don't seem to have any bad intentions." Louis nodded and felt a little relieved. Just then, Lu Chen's phone rang. It was an unknown number. It was hard not to connect the dots when an unknown number called right after something like this happened. In order not to let his sister continue to worry, Lu Chen found an excuse and went back to his room to pick her up. "Hello, is this Mr. Lu Chen?" "Who's this?" "Mr. Lu Chen, we met today. Do you remember? Didn't I say that I would give you a satisfactory answer about the house and phone?" Lu Chen was a little puzzled. He had brought the contract and personal information back. Zhongqing should not have had time to enter his information into the system. How did that guy find his phone number? How did you know my phone number? This. Mr. Lu Chen, you don't have to be so wary of us. We don't have any bad intentions. If it's convenient, can you and your sister come to the municipal building tomorrow? Secretary Lin would like to see you too. Ha! Lu Chen was a little confused. Secretary Lin wanted to see him. However, if they were with Secretary Lin, he did not need to worry. Secretary Lin had a good reputation in the city. He was a good leader who did things for the people. Moreover, if Secretary Lin wanted to see him, how could he not go? Okay, I'll be there tomorrow morning. Louis followed behind her brother. She did not know why, but when she returned home, she suddenly encountered a series of strange things. Her brother earned 500,000 yuan in a week. When he was buying a house, he encountered a hero who saved the damsel in distress. A big project like Mount Huangshan collapsed because of him. The city's top leader wanted to see him. Oh my God, it felt like a dream. The guard did not make things difficult for Lu Chen and his sister. They arrived at the top floor of the municipal building without a hitch. The 4 people who had helped them before were already waiting for them there. "Mr. Lu Chen, Ms. Lu Yi, you're here. Secretary Lin is waiting for you." Li Muhua greeted them warmly and led them into the office. Lu Chen and Lu Yi were a little nervous as this was their first meeting with the secretary. Secretary Lin raised his head and looked at the 2 of them. His gaze lingered on Lu Chen for a few seconds before he smiled and walked over to hold Lu Chen's hand. "You're Lu Chen. Nice to meet you." Lu Chen was baffled when Secretary Lin took the initiative to shake his hand. "Lu Yi, right? You're Lu Chen's sister. Nice to meet you." Lu Yi nodded stiffly. Seeing that the 2 of them were a little unnatural, Secretary Lin laughed and said, "Ha ha ha, you 2 little guys, don't be so nervous. If a parent official makes the people feel afraid, it means that he is not a good official. Come, have a seat. Xiao Li, why are you still standing? Go and make some tea for the 2 guests." "Yes." Li Muhua answered neatly. Lu Chen and Lu Yi sat opposite Secretary Lin. Secretary Lin had a kind smile on his face. "I already know about the fight between the 2 of you yesterday. It's all thanks to the 2 of you. If it weren't for the 2 of you, we wouldn't have discovered the problem with the first-grade Yellow Mountain. Otherwise, the consequences would have been unimaginable." Lu Chen blinked his eyes. Was Secretary Lin mistaken? What did this have to do with him? He did fight for it at that time, but it seemed like he was fighting for a house. Secretary Lin waved his hand. "Xiao Lu, I know what you want to say. You can only take a small part of the credit. But there is no doubt that if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have known about the first-grade Yellow Mountain. You can ask Shaoli about the details. Lu Chen stole a glance at Shaoli, who was standing at the side. This guy was one of the 4 people and seemed to be the leader of the 4. Secretary Lin continued, "Today, I called the 2 of you here because I want to get to know the 2 of you. The other reason is to apologize and compensate. The case is currently under investigation. We will definitely investigate the people involved strictly." Yesterday, Zhongqing's CEO Lu came back from overseas. They will completely rectify the first-grade Yellow Mountain. At the same time, they will compensate all the customers for their losses. Moreover, he will personally apologize to you and your sister and compensate for your losses. Secretary Lin then said to Li Muhua, "Shaoli, let CEO Lu and the rest in. They have been waiting outside for half an hour." "Yes, Secretary Lin." Not long after, Li Muhua brought 3 middle-aged men to Secretary Lin's office. The 3 of them were also carrying bags of various sizes. Secretary Lin. Among the 3 of them, a fat man in his 40s looked very uneasy. Secretary Lin nodded. "CEO Lu, you don't have to say anything. We will handle this matter by the book. If it's related to your higher-ups, we will go through the legal process. If it's a management loophole, you will also have to accept punishment. Also, from the performance of your employees, I have already asked Director Zhang to investigate whether they have the protection of the underworld." Lu Ming's face alternated between green and white. Especially the second half of Secretary Lin's sentence, it was even more intimidating. The previous case was an economic one, but the protection of the underworld was a criminal case. Now that the country was vigorously eradicating the underworld, the entire Zhongqing could be finished if they ran into the muzzle of the gun. This Zhang Weiguo, what was Huang Xia doing? How many benefits did they reap in private? Unfortunately, now was not the time to talk about this. Lu Ming and the other 2 nodded their heads like a rattle drum. "Yes, yes, yes. Secretary Lin is right. We must investigate thoroughly. Our company will fully cooperate with the investigation." In the blink of an eye, Lu Ming saw Lu Chen and his sister and hurried forward. "This must be Mr. and Mrs. Lu. Hello, I am Lu Ming, the manager of Zhongqing's Eastern District. I already know about yesterday's incident. Huang Xia has caused great harm to the 2 of you. I would like to express my deepest apologies. On behalf of Zhongqing Real Estate Corporation Limited, I sincerely apologize to the 2 of you." After that, Lu Ming's round body bent at a 90-degree angle. The finance director, mayor, and director behind him bowed deeply. "I'm sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Lu." Lu Chen and Lu Yi blinked their eyes. Speaking of which, to be honest, they had lost a mobile phone yesterday, but it did not seem to have caused any great harm. On the other hand, Lu Chen had punched Huang Xia until his face was like a steamed bun. "Oh, by the way, we know that the 2 of you have suffered great financial losses in the process of buying a house. We must compensate you for this." Lu Ming gave a look to his partner behind him, and the latter hurriedly took out the handbag in his hand. "These are 2 newly released Apple mobile phones. This is a 50,000 yuan voucher for the purchase of a house. In addition, this is our Zhongqing Group's Diamond VIP card. If you purchase any property under our group, you can enjoy a 30% discount." Lu Chen frowned and exchanged glances with Lu Yi. The compensation was so generous. It was a little embarrassing to accept it. Seeing that Lu Chen and his sister were a little hesitant, Lu Ming bowed again at a 90-degree angle and pleaded, "Please be sure to accept our apology." Looking at Director Lu's sincere gaze, Lu Chen felt that if he did not accept it, it would be embarrassing for the other party. Chapter 55. Facing Lu Ming's pleading gaze, Lu Chen had no choice but to accept it. Before Lu Chen left, Secretary Lin stopped Lu Chen and handed him a slip of paper. "Little Lu, this is my private number. If you and Lu Yi encounter any difficulties, you can call me anytime." Lu Chen and Lu Yi were stunned. Even Lu Ming and the rest had uncertain expressions. Secretary Lin also had a business card, but the phone number on it was a work phone. It was difficult to get a business card. Yet, Secretary Lin gave Lu Chen and his sister his personal phone number. What kind of treatment was this? Lu Ming had a lot of doubts in his heart. Who exactly were those two siblings? Why did Secretary Lin value them so much? Alright, you guys can go back. Let Little Li drive you guys. Coming out of the municipal building, Lu Chen had Secretary Lin's phone number. He also had two more phones in his hands, a 50,000 discount coupon and a VIP card, as well as Lu Ming's grateful gaze. A 30% discount when buying a house. The value of this card was hard to calculate. In fact, Zhongqing Real Estate was considered a legitimate company. Most of their properties were of high quality. Otherwise, Yellow Mountain First Class would not have sold so well. As for Yellow Mountain First Class, it was probably Zhang Weiguo who took bribes and cut corners to fill his own pockets. No matter what, this trip was rewarding. It was beyond Lu Chen's expectations. However, Lu Chen did not let these benefits go to his head. After reaching home, Lu Yi rushed to go online. The company was clearing the poison fog forest again. She could not be absent this time. After Lu Yi left, Lu Chen did not get out of the car. Who are you? Lu Chen frowned and looked at Li Muhua who was driving. Li Muhua smiled slightly. If you can treat me as a friend. Friend? Lu Chen shook his head. If we are friends, why don't you tell me your true identity? Why are you helping us? What do you want from me? Li Muhua looked at both sides of the road. There's a tea house over there. Let's go have some tea. The tea house was cold and cheerless, but it was just right for them to discuss matters. Li Muhua finally spoke. In Jiutian, there is a person called the best in the world. He is currently the most mysterious existence in the game. However, it seems that he has never taken a liking to us. Our emails are like those of all the other guilds. They are like stones thrown into the sea. Lu Chen frowned. And then? Li Muhua continued, due to some special reasons, we wanted to establish a mutually beneficial relationship with the best in the world. However, we have been unable to contact them for a long time. Furthermore, the Heavenly Network's defense system is impenetrable. Under these circumstances, we had no choice but to use some special means. We tracked the remittance records of the major banks and matched them with his transactions in the trading zone. Finally, we found this person. Lu Chen finally understood how these guys had found him. It was through the bank transfer records. How ruthless. Since Li Muhua had found the bank's information, Li Muhua would naturally be able to find him. Obviously, they already knew that he was the solipsistic, but they didn't point it out. Why are you looking for him? Let's be friends, Li Muhua said with a smile. Lu Chen narrowed his eyes slightly. Their request was that simple. Li Muhua took a sip of tea. In the future, he can sell the equipment he gets and play the game however he wants. Just one thing. If a friend is in trouble, we hope that he can lend a helping hand. Lu Chen frowned. It's just a game. Does the military need to put in so much effort? Jiutian is not as simple as just a game. Li Muhua's expression became serious. The entire world's government and military are stationed here. Do you really think that we have nothing to do? Lu Chen knew about this too. However, as a commoner, he couldn't possibly have access to confidential information. Since you guys are willing to put in so much effort to play Jiutian, with your strength, what do you need the solipsistic to help you with? Li Muhua shook his head. I can't predict the specifics. Hence, we don't have any requests for the solipsistic now. We just want to be friends. Is this a must? No, it's a request. How can friends be forced? Li Muhua laughed. Lu Chen nodded. This guy was quite interesting. However, Li Muhua and the others did help him a lot this time. If it weren't for them, he could only swallow this loss. Not only that, but Secretary Lin also seemed to think highly of him. Li Muhua's superiors must have spoken to him. To be able to help him to this extent, but not show a strong attitude, instead, he appeared humble and friendly, which was what Lu Chen appreciated the most. Of course, if the solipsistic is willing to sell us some equipment, that would be the best. Lu Chen smiled. This guy just let it slip. We still haven't passed the poison fog forest. It's so frustrating. Now that more and more guilds have passed it, I'm so anxious. The main problem is that our equipment is too poor. Without poison resistance equipment and Evans Hill's protection, we can't even pass the snake tide with 500 people. There are too many bamboo pythons. They are everywhere in sight. Lu Chen thought for a while and said, "How many of you want to pass? Let's send a few people over first. Once someone is there, we can pick them up at Ivanhill." Lu Chen nodded. Without poison resistance, you can't pass the snake tide. By the way, which novice village are you in? Gan District Novice Village. Lu Chen thought for a while and looked at the time, 7 to 7:30 p.m. Let's try the poison fog forest. Alright, I've finished my tea. I'll be leaving first. Ah. How are we going to pass? Hey, Lu Chen. Don't come to my house. Lu Chen paid the bill and left, 6:40 p.m. The 500 people of the Northern Military Vanguard Group gathered in front of the poison fog forest. Boss, are you sure you want to go now? Our equipment is too poor. Yeah, it's a waste of time. Why don't we level up and kill Zachas? Yes. With equipment, we can slowly kill the spider's lair and accumulate poison resistance equipment. Only then can we pass the snake tide. Li Muhua's in-game ID was Iron and Blood Guard. He had been questioned by his teammates for a long time. Most importantly, he was not confident. Lu Chen only told him the time. He did not tell him how to pass or how to answer his subordinates. Can't that guy make it clear? Li Muhua gritted his teeth in anger. 20 minutes, 7 p.m. Don't talk nonsense. Everyone, charge. Li Weihua ordered loudly. We only have half an hour. Don't attack the spider's lair. Charge straight out. When it's time for the snake tide, each team will act as a unit and follow our previous strategy. A soldier's duty was to obey. No matter what doubts they had, at this moment, everyone rushed into the poison fog forest. The spiders in the first stage stopped a few people. This loss was not much. The key was the snake tide. At this point, all the commanders were on high alert. Teams in charge of the rear, pay attention. Send out as many as you can. Why, are there so few venomous snakes here? There are only a few hundred left? That's impossible. There were at least a few thousand here. Now there's only a tenth. Were they killed? Are you kidding me? Can anyone level up in the snake tide? Even those who rushed out will not want to come back. Li Muhua also noticed this problem, and he was stunned. Could it be him? Chapter 56. No one could wipe out the entire snake tide, but there was one person who could not be judged by common sense, and that was the best in the world. Li Muhua suddenly understood why Lu Chen asked him to attack the poison fog forest from 7 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. He cleared out the snake tide. Why were there still giant pythons here? Maybe the system spawned them. After all, it took them a few minutes to rush here from the spider's nest. Damn, he cleared out the entire snake tide. This guy is too strong. Hundreds of giant pythons were still a big threat to the players who had no poison resistance. Basically, every bite would leave one behind. But this was already much better than before. This time, dozens of people might be able to make it out. Li Muhua immediately realized that this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and quickly focused on commanding. All team leaders, give your all. If no one makes it out, the team leader will go back and do 500 push-ups. Li Muhua's punishment made the team leaders shudder. Of course, most importantly, they also realized that this was an opportunity and gave their all to command the troops. In the end, 67 people made it out of the snake tide. Boss, there's still Ivanhill below. Be careful. Li Muhua naturally knew that too. He quickly reorganized the troops and moved forward carefully. However, the legendary invincible boss, Ivanhill, did not appear. They just went straight through the poison fog forest. Standing on the road to the level 10 main city, everyone could not believe it. What happened just now? We made it. The boss is gone. That guy really cleared out the snake tide? Oh my god, is he even human? Thousands of giant pythons, and he cleared them. Li Muhua was more shocked than anyone else. Not only did Lu Chen clear out the snake tide, but it had only been an hour since he made the promise. In an hour, he cleared out the snake tide that stopped countless players and countless professional guilds. Just how strong was that guy? He even killed Evans Hill while he was at it. Too strong, too strong. The leader's vision is indeed different. Lu Chen had just thrown Ivanhill's guardian into the trading point. With 7 heads, the snake tide was too fast. Before the snake monsters could surround them, they were killed by the 7 heads. Unfortunately, the snake tide did not drop any equipment. Speaking of which, the snake tide respawned quite quickly. If they didn't have any poison resistance equipment, it would be impossible for Li Muhua's men to charge out of the poison fog forest. Who knew how many of them would be able to charge out? For the past 2 days, Lu Chen had only been online for a short period of time. He had allowed 7 heads to carry 3 idiots. In the end, the 3 idiots' levels finally caught up. Currently, Lu Chen's entire team was at level 14. The other 10 men's backpacks were already filled to the brim with equipment. There were 47 spiked maces and 53 wolf skin leg guards. There was also a new piece of equipment, a level 10 floral dress. What's this? Lu Chen immediately inspected the equipment. Flower dress, level 10 white, strange outfit, female only, a long dress made of special petals. It has an exquisite appearance and carries a faint floral fragrance. Increases movement speed by 5%. Has a small chance of confusing the opponent. Confuse a target whose level is lower than the user's, gain control of the target within 30 seconds. There's such a thing. Lu Chen was also quite surprised. He picked up the equipment. There was indeed a faint floral fragrance. It was quite pleasant. The movement speed increase was very low, but it was still the first piece of equipment that increased movement speed. The key was that the skill at the back was quite interesting. It was a pity that it could only be worn by female characters. It couldn't even be displayed when trying it on. After grinding for so long, only 1 piece of equipment dropped. This drop rate is too low. Lu Chen shook his head. I can only sell it. The monsters killed by his men were counted in Lu Chen's kill count. Lu Chen looked at the reputation shop. The new bloodline only showed the 3-petal flower demon. He had already reached the required kill count. The Phantom Moon Silver Wolf and Steelback Thorn Jackal definitely had enough kill counts too. However, their bloodline was the same as his, so it wasn't displayed. Let's clear these guys' backpacks first. I'll sell the equipment and come back to fuse with the Flower Demon's talent. Maces. 500, wolf skin leg guards. The positioning is a bit awkward. 200 should be enough. Finally, there was the 100 flower dress. Lu Chen was a bit unsure of the price. It had no attributes at all. It was considered a special item. He didn't know how much it could be sold for. Forget it. I'll put this in the auction area. Let's set the starting price at 1,000. Then we'll have a time limit of 20 minutes. As soon as Lu Chen put the equipment up for sale, there was a notification of a sale. The maces were the most popular. After all, most people still had level 1 weapons. The 47 maces were sold out very quickly. $22,325 had been transferred to his account. Originally, Lu Chen was worried that the leg guards wouldn't sell well. After all, the low-level ones would want the poison fog set. He didn't know if the higher-level ones would want it. However, unexpectedly, the sales of the leg guards didn't have any problems at all. Although there were more and more people passing through the poison fog forest, in a team, only a few people could make it out alive. Take Wen Qim's team for example. She was the only one who made it out alive. Due to the small number of people, it was still very difficult for these people to fight wild monsters that were level 10 and above. The defense and HP bonus of the wolf skin leg guards were very important. The price of $200 wasn't expensive. In a short period of time, the market demand was very high, so it was sold out very quickly. $10,070 had been transferred to his account. What Lu Chen didn't expect was that the price of the 100-flower dress in the auction area had risen to $3,400 in just 5 minutes. No way. This thing can be sold for so much? Lu Chen couldn't believe it. He had almost sold it for $1,000 or $2,000, there were still 15 minutes before the end of the auction. Lu Chen suddenly thought of Wen Qim and immediately entered Wen Qim's live broadcast room. Wen Qim had now changed her profession to spirit exorcist. However, she couldn't catch pets alone, and her fighting speed was too slow. Sigh, they'll only make it out of the poison fog forest in an hour. I'll go pick them up then. For now, I'd better see if there's any good equipment to buy. Solipsistic got new equipment again? Wen Qim opened the auction area. 100-flower dress. It looks pretty good. There's a faint fragrance. Strange equipment. Isn't it a normal equipment item? It's limited to female characters. Ah, I can wear it. Movement speed plus 5%, and there's a small chance of confusing the opponent. It feels pretty good. Let me try it on. Feng Lingzi's character was actually herself. She was wearing this floral dress. The wolf skin vest on her body was hidden, and the pink petals clung to her body. Lu Chen's fair neck and snow-white arms were exposed. The petals of the dress seemed to be made of natural petals, moving with the wind. It was soft and breathtaking. Wow! It's so beautiful. Wen Qim looked at her character's image and fell into narcissism. There's a faint fragrance too. It smells so good. Wen Qim couldn't help but twirl around. As she twirled, pink petals scattered around her, dancing with her. She was like a fairy. Oh my god! I love it! Wen Qim was stunned. The live broadcast room exploded in an instant. Is this fashion? It looks pretty good. Oh my god, the goddess is so beautiful. She's like a fairy. I love her. Will this effect be maintained? Wow, it's so beautiful. There's a fragrance and special effects too. I want it too. I'm going crazy with envy. It's so beautiful. I want to try it on too. There were many female viewers in the live broadcast room. Seeing this scene, they couldn't hold it in anymore and rushed to the auction area. Wen Qim covered her red face. No, I've lost my mind. I can't control myself anymore. I'll buy it too. You have bid for the 100-flower dress. The bid is 3,500 yuan. The auction ends at 0:14:42. There's still 14 minutes left. Don't fight with me. Your bid has been surpassed. The current highest bid is 3,600 yuan. The auction ends at 0:14:39. You have bid for the 100-flower dress. The bid is 3,700 yuan. The auction ends at 0:14:32. Your bid has been surpassed. The current highest bid is 3,800 yuan. The auction ends at 0:14:21. Who is it? Why are they fighting with me? I'm going crazy. Wen Qin was really going crazy. Lu Chen was dumbfounded. What was going on? Wen Qin wasn't this crazy even with the poison mist suit. No, it wasn't Wen Qin who was crazy. It was the women who were crazy. Chapter 57. In the Punan district of Sea City, in a high-end villa, a woman rushed out from the second floor. She was in her 20s and had perfect facial features. Her long hair cascaded down her shoulders like a waterfall. Her looks were comparable to the Zhoutian's #1 beauty, Fengling. Their temperaments were slightly different. Fengling was like the girl next door, friendly and easygoing, while she was more like a princess, noble and noble. However, this little princess seemed unhappy. She ran to the study on the first floor, frowned, and pouted. Dad, a piece of equipment appeared in Zhoutian. Get your men to help me get it. In the study, a middle-aged man with gold-rimmed glasses looked up at his daughter in surprise. Qiu Ning, what's going on? What do you want the equipment for? This man was the chairman of Hongxing Group, Li Zuguang. Hongxing Group was the financial backer of Sea City's famous gaming club, TT Club. Li Zuguang was puzzled. For the long-term development of TT Club, the most important equipment had to be given to the top players in the guild. This was what he had told Qiu Ning. Dad, this equipment won't be of much use to them. Anyway, I don't care. I must buy this equipment. Qiu Ning walked in front of her father angrily and pulled Li Zuguang's arm to do the pendulum exercise. Li Zuguang was annoyed and amused by his precious daughter. However, after his daughter grew up, she rarely acted like a spoiled child in front of him. Li Zuguang looked at his daughter lovingly. What equipment? Li Qiu Ning immediately turned on her father's computer and logged into the Zhoutian website. In the auction area, the most popular piece of equipment was a piece of equipment called the 100-flower dress. Dad, this is the district's #1 piece of equipment. Don't you think I look beautiful in it? Qiu Ning had already sent a video of herself trying it on to her father. Zhoutian characters were the same as real people. Li Zuguang was shocked when he saw his daughter try it on. In the dress, his daughter was like a fairy, dancing gracefully. The pink petals around her danced with her steps. It was like a dream. His daughter in the camera was like a fairy, a blooming flower. She was too beautiful. Dad, this dress smells good. It smells good. Li Zuguang frowned slightly. Li Zuguang was very clear that one could smell things in Zhoutian. Li Zuguang opened the item's information. Although the long dress didn't add any attributes, it did add 5% movement speed. It also had an interesting skill, confusion. The most important thing was that this was not a piece of equipment in the normal equipment slot, so it did not take up more slots. No wonder his daughter wanted it so much. This dress was indeed extraordinary. At present, the bidding price had reached 38,300 yuan. For ordinary people, it was already very expensive. But for people like Li Zuguang, which one of the luxurious clothes he bought for his daughter cost less than 5 digits? As long as his daughter was happy, money was not a problem. However, it didn't seem to be a problem of money now. There were only 5 minutes left for the auction of the floral dress, and its price was still soaring. It was dropped by that guy. Li Zuguang saw the consignor. It was solipsistic. Li Zuguang valued Zhoutian very much, so he naturally knew about solipsistic. That's right, Dad. Where did this guy come from? Qiu Ning frowned. Wholesale equipment. The first to clear Zakas, the first to clear the poison fog forest, the first to clear the hidden dungeon, and now the first to drop a piece of rare equipment. You have so many people. Didn't you say they were very strong? Why aren't they as strong as him? Li Zuguang shook his head. Don't say that. TT's guys are very professional and hardworking. As for this guy, I can only say that he's incredible. Alright, you're just afraid that it will be snatched away at the last second. I'll let Lin Sun and the others help you. Thank you, Dad. Dad is the best. Fengling was about to collapse. The price of the dress had risen to 60,000 yuan. Of course, as the most popular streamer, her income was also very high. 50,000 yuan was not enough to scare her off. Whoever obtained this dress would definitely become the focus of the entire server. Gradually, she also discovered the trick of the limited-time auction. The previous bids were meaningless. Only those who bid at the last second would have the last laugh. There was still 1 minute until the end of the auction. Fengling began to anxiously wait for the last moment to arrive. The price of the floral dress was fixed at 65,300 yuan. Within 20 seconds, there was no change. However, Fengling was very clear that the decisive moment was about to arrive. Everyone, don't be noisy. The last 10 seconds are crucial. Fengling's whole body was tense. 10, 9, 8. 3, 2, 1. At the last second, Fengling confirmed the bid. However, the Jiutian official website, which was known to use a super server, actually froze. It can't be. It froze. Fengling, did you get it or not? This is too sad. It froze at the crucial moment. Fengling was so angry that she stomped her feet. Why did it have to freeze at this time? I'm so angry. 2 seconds later, the final result came out. Unfortunately, the item you bid for has been sold. I didn't get it. In the live broadcast, a bunch of people comforted their goddess. However, there were also sharp-eyed people. Damn, it can't be. The price increased by more than 30,000 yuan at the last second. In other words, there were at least 300 people bidding for it in that second. Fuck, no wonder it froze. This is a competition of hand speed and internet speed. Fengling didn't care about the price. She only regretted that she didn't get it. Sigh, I feel so weak. It's so hard to get such a rare piece of equipment, but I didn't manage to get it. I'm so tired. Winqin looked listless. She was a completely different person from her previous self. It's probably Solipsistic's first time getting it. He can't wear it. If he got it before, he would have sold it long ago. Sigh. Such a beautiful dress. I've been fantasizing about wearing it everywhere. Sigh. Lu Chen was farming when he found that he had an extra email. It had been exactly 20 minutes since the floral dress was put up for sale. It was most likely a transaction message. Lu Chen stopped and opened the email. The limited-time auction for the 100 flowers dress you consigned has ended. Player Spring Dew Immortal Dance won the bid for the 100 flowers dress at the price of 98,700 yuan. After deducting the 10% handling fee, 88,830 yuan has been transferred to your bank account. Fuck. More than 80,000 yuan. Lu Chen was stunned. That piece of equipment with no attributes was sold for almost 90,000 yuan. That was close. I almost sold it for 2,000 yuan. Who are these people? Out of curiosity, Lu Chen entered the auction area and checked the messages there. Since most people hadn't traded with Lu Chen before and he didn't add them as friends, they couldn't send an email to Lu Chen directly. They could only leave a message in the trading area. I didn't get it. I don't think I'll love it again. Mad God, can you add me as a friend? Please, praying with both hands, I'm mad, please add me as a friend. I'll wait for you online. Moi, red lips, Mad God, do you still have the floral dress? If you do, can you add me as a friend? The price isn't a problem. I've already chosen to only show my ID to you. Why don't you add me as a friend? Just add me as a friend. I promise you won't regret it. Lu Chen frowned. These IDs were obviously female accounts. The floral dress special requirements meant that only female players would buy it. So many people wanted to add him as a friend for such a useless piece of clothing? Fuck, that was close. I almost sold it for 2,000 yuan. Lu Chen shook his head and mercilessly closed the official website. Chapter 58. Lu Chen looked at the money on his card. He had sold more than 100,000 yuan over the past 2 days. In addition to the 500,000 yuan from before, he now had 650,000 yuan in savings. I still have a 50,000 yuan coupon, and I can get a 30% discount. Lu Chen calculated. I can buy a house worth 1,000,000 yuan. In Rivertown, a house worth 1,000,000 yuan was enough to buy a house in the city center. Coincidentally, Zhongqing has a real estate in the city center. I'll go take a look in a few days. Lu Chen decided that he had to do a field trip this time. Returning to the game calmly, Lu Chen began the next step of evolution, fusing the 3-petal flower demoness bloodline. Bloodline fusion completed. You've received a new talent, inferior succubus bloodline. Under Lu Chen's 3 talents, there was a new talent. Talent, inferior werewolf bloodline, stage 4, talent, inferior poisonous spider bloodline, stage 4, talent, inferior snake bloodline, stage 4, talent, inferior succubus bloodline, stage 0 succubus becomes one with nature. Field vision increases by 100 meters. Immune to low-level charm type effects. Ha! What kind of talent is this? Lu Chen was a little disappointed. It did not add attack, defense, or any other special attributes. It only added vision and immunity to low-level charm type effects. It was a little useless. Speaking of which, when he fought the 3-petal flower demoness, he did not find anything special about it. Forget it. It's just an extra ability anyway. Lu Chen had a lot of low-level materials, so he simply upgraded it to stage 4. Talent, inferior succubus bloodline, stage 4 field vision increases by 400 meters. Immune to low-level charm type effects. Next, it was Lu Chen's change in appearance. Previously, Lu Chen was half jackal, half spider, and had a snake tail. After fusing with the 3-petal flower demoness, 2 branches grew out of Lu Chen's head. Lu Chen held his forehead. I shouldn't have fused with the flower demoness bloodline. Well, since he was already ugly, Lu Chen did not care about this small change. 7 heads and 3 idiots were still farming. Lu Chen calculated in his mind. As more and more players rushed out of the poison fog forest, the silhouettes of players could already be seen in the low-level areas. When we came out of the secret dungeon, we were level 1. Although we didn't level up much in the past few days, our leveling speed didn't fall behind too much when we were hacking. Now that the whole party is level 14, we should be able to go and kill level 17 or 18 tiger monsters. Thinking of this, Lu Chen recalled his subordinates and headed deeper into the 100-beast mountain range. Striped tigers and giant pin-armored bears had already appeared on the road. However, Lu Chen felt that there were too few of them and that their levels were too low, so he continued to lead the team forward. Needless to say, Lu Chen's world seemed to have become a little different after his field of vision widened. He could see the distribution of monsters far away and decide his route. Why was the area in front covered in fog? I can't see anything. This area was very hidden, and there were some camouflage around it. Under normal circumstances, it was almost impossible to find. When Lu Chen had opened the map, he had not discovered this place. Could it be that the flower goblin's talent helped me find this place? Out of curiosity, Lu Chen walked to the outskirts of this area. The area in front of him was completely covered in white fog, and the visibility was estimated to be less than 10 meters. After taking another 2 steps forward, Lu Chen saw a stone tablet by the side of the road. Seeing the stone tablet, Lu Chen's heart tightened. The stone tablet had appeared twice before. One was in front of the poison fog forest, and the other was in front of the mass grave. The monsters in these 2 places were stronger than the monsters in the surroundings. The name of this place was written on the stone tablet, as well as a couplet and a sentence. Dense fog forest. Heaven and earth rotate, the 8 directions are not visible, the paths lead to a secluded place. Heaven and earth turn upside down, it is difficult to distinguish between what is real and what is false. The road leads to a lost path. Please note, once the dense fog forest is activated, it will begin to expand until a player destroys the dense fog forest's octagonal array core. Lu Chen frowned. What's going on? Is this a maze or an illusion? Is the last sentence a warning? If I go in and can't destroy the octagonal array core, the fog environment will continue to expand? The game mechanics of Jiutian determined that Lu Chen had to be cautious. If it were a normal game, mazes and illusions would not be a problem. However, Jiutian used brain-connected technology. In other words, illusions or extremely complex maps would affect the player's body. Since we're here, let's go in and take a look. Lu Chen decided to enter the dense fog forest. Just as Lu Chen stepped into the dense fog forest, the entire server made a system announcement. Player Solipsistic has activated the dense fog forest. Server warning, server mission activated, resist invasion. The group of people was instantly dumbfounded. What's going on? What server mission? What's that guy doing? That's not right, he activated the dense fog forest. Why did we activate the mission? When the players checked this server-wide quest in their own quest system, the entire player forum blew up. Fuck, did you see the resist invasion mission? This is playing us to death. That person quickly posted a screenshot. Mission, resist invasion, level 20 server mission, mission description. The unknown fog on the east side of the Celestial Mountain has been activated and is spreading at an extremely fast speed. After the investigation of the Celestial Mountain Elders, they found that the fog is extremely harmful. It can increase the strength of wild monsters, weaken the attack power of humans, permanently corrode equipment, lower the upper limit of equipment durability, irreparable, and slow down the speed of spiritual power cultivation. Mission details: destroy the octagon formation in the dense fog forest as soon as possible. Mission reward: the person who destroys the octagon formation will receive a special reward. After the mission is completed, the entire server will receive double EXP for 10 hours. Fuck, I'm going to vomit blood. Increase the strength of wild monsters, weaken our attack power, permanently reduce the upper limit of equipment durability, slow down the speed of spiritual power cultivation. This fog is too much. Level 20 mission. The unique and righteous is level 20. Impossible. But the whole server gets double EXP for 10 hours. Fuck, if we can complete the mission, the reward will be awesome. Awesome my *SS, brother, I also want to destroy the octagon formation, but I'm still stuck in the newbie area. I'm on the Celestial Mountain, but I didn't find any dense fog forest. At this time, thousands of professional teams across the country were holding an emergency meeting at the same time. The 15 team leaders of the Thunder Guild were all asked to go offline and were sitting in the meeting room. You've all seen the invasion resistance mission, this mission. The guild leader, Liang Zhanbua, frowned. The mission reward mentioned a special reward, which was a huge temptation for any guild, but, although some of Thunder Guild members had already left the newbie village and gone to the main city to learn the mission, they had even started to organize some of the team members to level up in the 100 Beast Mountain range. But until now, none of the team members had found any dense fog forest. They had no clue about this server-wide mission. So, everyone who has passed the poisonous fog forest will form groups of 5 and search the entire poisonous fog forest. In order to raise everyone's morale, Liang Zhanbua specially mentioned that person, who was also the initiator of this server-wide mission. We have to fight for this mission. Solipsistic's level is high. At the beginning of the game, he used some unknown method to walk in front of everyone. But don't forget, we are professionals. In all the previous games, who doesn't know about Thunder Guild? This is the proof of everyone's strength. Just as the officials said, after level 10, the game really begins. We can definitely surpass him. Plus, he's only level 12 now. He can't destroy all 8 octagons by himself, so this is the best chance for us to turn the tables. Chapter 59. Before the first wave had subsided, another wave arose. Due to the early appearance of the full-service mission, the system further explained the full-service mission. Jiutian had a total of 900 beginners areas. Tianqing also allowed players to change their IP to another beginner's village, but the prerequisite was that the player had not killed any monsters above elite within 12 hours. In other words, Tianqing allowed players to change beginners' villages, but did not allow players to use this method to kill unlimited bosses. And this full-service mission directly caused Jiutian's Celestial Mountain and 100 Beast Mountain regions to be merged. The full-service Celestial Mountain and 100 Beast Mountain regions will be temporarily merged into one server. After 2 minutes, all players will be forced to go offline. The merging will last for 15 minutes. Please wait patiently. This news was like a bomb that exploded among all the players in the server. EDS Guild Club Manager, the full-service merger means that all forces will appear in one server. Immediately organize people to search for the Fog Forest. We must get the reward for destroying the Formation Eye. TT Guild. Lin Sun said excitedly, "Oh my god, the full-service merger. This is a full-service mission, so the reward will definitely be extraordinary. Once the fog invades, everyone can forget about leveling up. So, all members in level 10 main cities, immediately search for the Fog Forest. RTS Guild Club. Without a doubt, all the top players in the server will be eyeing this mission. You must give it your all and get the reward. Taya Group, Gaming Department. This was a department specially set up for Jiutian. The chairman had personally spoken. Everyone, I have emphasized more than once the importance of your work. Don't treat Jiutian as a game, treat it as a job. You are the best of the Taya Group, our vanguard. I am very satisfied with your performance. At least until now, we have not lost to any professional teams. For this full-service mission, Solipsistic can't take all the rewards alone. As for the full-service merger, let me give you an example. It will be like the Huashan Duel, where all the top players in the server will compete in one server. Heroes vying for supremacy, in the end, the winner will be the brave one. Rivertown Dragon Club. Immediately inform all the members who have passed the Poison Fog Forest to stay up all night. Those who have returned home can stay online for now. There is no need to go to the company tomorrow. We've already discussed it with the Cloud Top Guild. This time, we'll work together. Whether or not we can get a share of the loot will affect the future development of our guild. Northern Military Vanguard Group. Li Muhua had already gathered all 67 soldiers. Everyone, I'm sure you've seen the quest. This is going to be a brutal battle. I know we're not at an advantage in terms of level and equipment, but we, the Vanguard Party, have to face it head-on. Attention, all departments. We'll be working through the night. We must find the Poison Fog Forest. 2 more of Winchim's party members followed the Rock Ghost King and YYF Guild through the Poison Fog Forest. Winchim immediately regrouped with her party and joined the Rock Ghost King and YYF Guild. Oh my god, the entire server has merged. The whole server mission this time is too big. Fengling Z was in the team and seemed to be particularly excited. The reward for this mission will definitely not be bad. Ah! Ask the Solipsistic where the Poison Fog Forest is. Forget it. I'm not that familiar with him. He definitely won't tell me such a sensitive question. But his level shouldn't be higher than 1. We should be able to find it if we look for it in places with more monsters. The most important thing is to be careful of the other guilds. As the only person in the entire server who was in the Poison Fog Forest, Lu Chen was not excited at all. Lu Chen shook his head. What was wrong with the system? Why didn't it tell him in advance? Why did it make him appear on the news so easily? Why did it have to be so high profile? Looking at the Poison Fog Forest in front of him, Lu Chen felt a little strange. When he was looking from the outside, he could not see the situation inside the Poison Fog Forest at all. But now that he was inside, he realized that there was no difference between the inside and outside. There were a lot of monsters around, but it did not seem that dangerous. Could it be the flower goblin's talent? Lu Chen was not sure. Anyway, he was waiting for the game to restart. Not long after, Lu Chen was kicked out of the game. 15 minutes later, the game could be logged in normally. However, Lu Chen was not in a hurry to enter the game. He was also very interested in this temporary server merger. He thought about how spectacular it would be when all the experts in the server were placed in the same celestial mountain. He turned on Fengling Zi's live broadcast. Fengling Zi had already entered the game. When Fengling Zi opened her eyes, she was shocked. Oh my god, so many people! Fengling Zi could not help but exclaim. It makes me feel like I was born in the novice village when the game just started. Fengling Zi was not exaggerating at all. In Fengling Zi's line of sight, the celestial mountain was already crowded with players. The three novice villages shared a level 10 main city. Originally, there were not many people in a level 10 main city. It was already not bad if there were only about 200 people. However, after the servers merged, there were at least a few thousand people in the celestial mountain. There was a sea of people, and all of them were very high level. They were all level 10, and some were even level 11. They were all well equipped and had at least 3 or 4 pieces of equipment on them. To be able to take care of these people so well, to be able to rush out of the poison fog forest among their many companions, there was no doubt that these people were the elites of the elites, the experts of the various big forces. At this moment, these experts were all gathered together. In the live broadcast room, the audience saw this scene and could not help but get excited. Wow, these are the strongest players in the country. Oh right, there is no novice protection after level 10. They won't be fighting outside, right? 10,000 people fighting, just thinking about it makes me excited. Who would be fighting outside now? They will definitely go to the poison fog forest first. Although there were a few thousand people here, in just a short moment, everyone quickly found their own organization. From these gathered IDs, one by one, the strong guilds had really surfaced. Stop looking, gather, we're leaving now. YYF Divine Light said loudly, we have a total of 55 people, we are not afraid of the other guilds, but we still have to be careful on the way. One by one, the teams left the Celestial Mountain and headed towards the 100 Beast Mountain range. The outside world generally thought that the best in the world's level would not exceed 1. After all, the experience required to level up had increased by several times compared to before, so almost everyone was heading towards the 1 leveling area. In the dense forest, the teams kept a distance from each other and carried out a carpet search of the entire area. Wow, this is spectacular! Lu Chen exclaimed. After watching the show, it was time for him to go online. He exited the official website and entered the game. He was in the fog forest. He summoned the 7-headed 3 idiots from the army order. After the game was rebooted, the horror of the fog forest was finally revealed. Not far in front of Lu Chen, a wave of monsters spawned. There were about 20 of them. The levels of the monsters were not high, only around level 15, but the problem was that they were at least elite monsters, and there was even a boss among them. What was different from the monsters outside was that there was an additional word behind their names, super mutated. Are they all mutated, or super mutated? Lu Chen thought for a while and said, the mission said that the fog can strengthen the monsters. I'm in the center of the fog now, so it's normal for these guys to have super mutated. Maybe because they are too strong after super mutating, their levels are only around level 15. I wonder how strong they will be after super mutating. Since it's a server-wide mission, it should be very difficult. No matter what, since he was here, Lu Chen still wanted to fight. Let's see if we can pull them out to fight. Big Head, you! Lu Chen turned around and was about to plan a battle strategy when he saw Big Head's name. Not only Big Head, but even the 7-headed 3 idiots' names had changed. These guys actually had a word behind their names. Super mutated. He looked again and saw that there was an additional word behind his long list of names, super mutated. After his brain short-circuited for a few seconds, Lu Chen slapped his head. Damn, I almost forgot, I'm also a monster.